Hey everybody, welcome to our session 1 of
potentially several sessions.
Yes, this is just the first one. Hopefully the first of many.
All of the crap. Shit, fuck.
All the crap shit fuck?
All
That
the
is a
crap shit fuck.
Awesome.
Is that the name? Is that the slogan for this campaign?
It is now.
It is now.
Campaign in Pendilor. All the crap shit fuck.
All the crap.
Shit,
Who
fuck.
are we missing besides Cole?
Isn't he in the group above? Probably doing a Mythic Plus on accident.
No, got Zell, Lev, Sventies, Fubarius, Dax, Basics.
I'm here.
Cole.
Ooh, music.
Oh, we're missing Feisty.
Oh shit. He'll be here.
Friendly reminder. Alright, well, while we wait for Mr. Feisty, why don't we just get started and tread a little bit of water for him? I, for the record, have never DM'd a group quite this large. So, if I make mistakes, it's on you guys, because I am, of course, infallible.
Nice.
My plan is to just to make it easier on everybody else, because I know we had sort of a rushed session 0 that didn't end with everybody complete. I think it's helpful to all the player characters, more the players than the characters, to just run through sort of round robin style, quick introduction of character. Just name, class, I think is probably sufficient. We can do like actual character to character interactions as you guys organically meet within the story. But I think just so that everybody remembers the names of the other PCs, it would be helpful just to go around, name, class, and then if you want to briefly just touch on your inter-party connection. An example might be Lab saying, I am a shadowy sorcerer, my name is Alexis Blacktalon, and I know so-and-so through such and such.
Alright, first, my name is Alexis Blacktalon. I'm a shadowy sorcerer. Jezza was my childhood best friend, and my NPC is a old crone of a librarian that is in low-key evil, probably.
Nice. Feisty, do you want to introduce your character?
My character's name is Kel. They're a wizard of the School of Necromancy. They've run into Alexis and Jezza when they were very young, but have not been around in Pendilor in a while, and more recently is hanging out with Leo Stronghammer as a just sort of helper that is very quiet, and the NPC connection is currently unknown to the entire party.
I'm gonna pause there. I think that a little bit of a backstory. I think my character knows of you, but never met you, because I was doing some connections everywhere, and the times don't match up.
Well, we'll suss it out.
Fair.
Alright, tell us about
That's fair.
My guy's name is Leo Stronghammer. He's a half-dwarf barbarian and a traveling smith. Traveling around Pendilor for a while now. Just sussing out his skill and trying to get better at it. And he's traveling with Kel for a while now. And he's just a merry old guy.
Zell?
My character is Zaz Middle River. He is a priest of Talos and professional garbage picker living underneath the floating city of Eros. And his player connection is also to Keg, where he revived Keg, who decided to jump off of the floating city, and we went on adventures.
And adventure ensued. You know, classic D&D stuff.
Mhm.
Basics.
All right. Kig is the name. Kig is a kobold rogue. Kig is known as the sword by his victims or his friends, and he has a friend named Eldred who he met in his early life that gave him said sword.
Sorry, quick poll of all of the people who know Kig. Is anybody actually going to call him the sword?
I don't know if I'm going to, and I think I might just make that as like a connection thing where I'm just like, this kobold's calling himself the sword. I am not calling him that.
We'll see how.
Zaz
we'll
is not
see what
calling
he.
him the sword.
We'll see what he wants you to call him.
Blunted
boy.
dagger, perhaps.
I'm just gonna call you Kig, and then
If you
and then I'm probably gonna
yourself as the
jokingly
sword,
call.
I will call you the sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
see
like
what
more
happens.
like, and I think I'm probably gonna be like more like the dagger to me.
I'll call you short sword. All right.
Snap.
Cole, go ahead.
Damn.
Okay, a druid. Name is Petrichor, and I know Reed Greenbottle because he was one of the elves that helped protect the village that I am from a while back. Halfling.
Tomato, tomato.
Basically the same thing. Just a short elf.
All right, Dax, talk us through Reed.
Reed Greenbottle is my character. He is a stout halfling, and he comes from the Greenbottle family, a family that's masterful in poisons and herbology, and later respecialized in healing. When my family came upon hard times, they sold Reed into servitude with a traveling monk named Master Soul. And I spent years of my life training under Master Soul to become learning the ways of the Sun Soul Monk. And my our defining event was that we saved a village from a troop of bandits, and that village happened to be where Petrichor is from. And then my other player connection is with Jezza. I happened to come across her one day in the city, being generous to some street urchins and finding it peculiar that a goblin was being generous rather than stealing and thieving. Followed her and noticed that she knew some monk moves, later approached her, and while she considers Reed more of a passing acquaintance, Reed always greets her as a friend whenever they meet during Reed's travels. And happens to know Jezza's one-time master, Teelan Fireheart, and every time they meet, he always shares more stories that he hears about her one-time master.
Nice, and you're just like the tiniest bit low-key racist.
Just a little bit, I guess.
What? Hold on. What? All right, I'm sorry. I got a little lost.
Generous.
Did you give me the 5 seconds?
Gobbo's gonna go.
Right, give me that 5 second spark notes there. I feel like I tuned out for a second, but what? You're racist?
No,
I don't think it-
Reed thinks of goblins being greedy, and seeing a goblin being generous, giving money freely to street urchins, became intensely curious about this goblin who wasn't behaving as he expected goblins to be.
Boy, I can't wait to hear what you think
okay.
about kobolds.
He's not racist. He's just very stereotypical.
Right, just she must be half goblin.
Just stereotypically racist.
Good half.
And I find elves fascinating. There, it said.
You find elves fascinating. Oh no.
Yes.
Uh oh.
Yes.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing my character wears a hood.
You're half interesting.
I'm half interesting indeed.
Yes.
All right,
In
Sven,
In what way interesting?
Sventus,
What?
your character?
Oh, okay. So, my character is Jezza. She is a goblin monk. She's a street urchin from the capital city of Pendilor. The basic gist is that wasn't really wanted, spent a lot of her young life just stealing to stay alive, do whatever she had to do. stole from the wrong person and learned the most important rule is never steal from someone you can't outrun. Got caught by the monk that she stole from, and the monk ended up taking so much pity on her because of the way of how he saw the young, impulsive goblin to be. He offered to teach her how to defend herself and fight if she used those skills to only help other orphans. She agreed, and she was trained as a monk of the open hand in the city of Pendilor by One Talon Fireheart, the connection between me and Dax. Growing up, and then she's basically just a rambunctious goblin that likes to run around, steal from the people who have a little bit too much, and punch people who get in her way. She knows Alexis Blacktalon from being an orphan, and she knows Kel, even though they haven't seen each other in a long time.
Copy that. Give me just 1 second, guys. Actually, let's do the obligatory "Can you move your character" test, just to make sure that permissions haven't been wonky while I was moving stuff around today. Can anybody not control their character token?
I just realized I've been on a loading screen for 10 minutes.
Well,
Is it weird? Is it weird that I still have access to Amara Saro's character sheet?
No, I didn't
Hey.
strip away any permissions, so...
Okay. Just making sure. I was like, wait a minute.
It looks like everybody's good, and if you shift double-click, it opens the character sheet.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Does anybody have any... Before we jump into the game, does anybody have any sort of meta questions about the campaign, the characters, or D&D in general?
Did you think about the Forge idea for a day?
I did think about the Forge idea.
You have a
Holy shit,
portable
that's
forge?
awesome.
Well, that's cool.
Nice. You just ride around with a forge around?
Well, we got a carriage, so yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome. Where do I add that to the thing? Will that take place over my uncommon item?
No, I think it would be a mundane item.
Okay.
I really was not sure how to price it, so I was going to ask you first how much gold you have left after shopping.
I think it's 65, 6. I would be willing to go down to 0.
Does 40 gold seem fair for a portable forge?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How does
Okay.
that not light the carriage on fire?
I would like to imagine that he doesn't use it while it's packed in the carriage. I'm assuming
Correct.
it
I
has to
only
be...
ever use it when I take it outside.
Or during one wild chase in Act 2.
Right, yes. Light it up, boys!
I
We don't
have
have
one-
enough arrows! Make more arrows! What?
I have one quick question because I've never played in 5th Ed specifically. Do I have to memorize my spells?
You...
Depends on the class, does it not?
Well, yes and no. A cleric will have to prepare spells each morning, so you're essentially memorizing those prepared spells. But you have access to the entire cleric spell list. You're only going to be limited to a number of spells equal to your cleric level plus your wisdom modifier per day prepared. But they can, be drawn from that infinite list of paladins or cleric spells. So yes and no.
See, this is why I play sorcerer. I have access to only the very select spells that I know. That way I can never fuck it up.
Yeah, but somebody had to heal you.
That's fair.
That's true. Yeah, very true. Not to put too fine a point on it. Yeah, anybody else got any other questions? Obviously, if rule stuff comes up in-game, we'll obviously address it, but if it's like, my character doesn't work or I don't understand what a hit die is, I'd like to get those out before we
I
jump
never
in.
really thought I had the. I don't know if I ever rolled HP correctly, but I'm just gonna run with 22 and roll with it.
Yeah, we're a very broad spectrum party. There is, so I think Leo's got over 50 HP, but he's got a killer con score, and he's a barbarian, so he's going to have artificially high hit points. And then I think 19 with a negative constitution from Jez. That's I've never seen that quite so broad.
Yeah, I don't know
tiny.
if I don't know if I actually rolled it properly, but it is what it is. I'll run with it.
All right, gang.
Oh,
let me just- go
I
ahead.
did have something. Sorry.
No.
So one of the things about Sun Soul monks is we have the what's it called? The Radiant Sunbolt. I don't know how to build that attack, and it doesn't actually clarify quite clearly in the description of it. I don't know if it's something you can set up for me, or if I have to do. Yeah.
I think at the very least you have to hold your hand above your head while you channel the energy into a compressed spinning disc,
Oh, the Destructo disc.
and then when you're ready to
Whoa.
release that energy, you have to say Destructo Disc!
That's way too powerful. I think I need to veto that one.
I'm okay with that.
Radiant Sunbolt. I just don't know if there's an actual attack that can be created for that.
Sure. It looks like it's
Something
gonna
that
just be a standard dexterity attack, so let me just put this in for you.
Thank you.
Oop, I don't know what I just rolled, but it's not. Oh, a nothing. That is helpful.
I'm curious. Hold on. Oh, okay. So it does do that. All right. Cool beans.
And can you read what its damage is?
You add a dexterity modifier to its attack and damage rolls. Its damage is radiant, and its damage die is a D4.
Just 1d4.
It just says a D4.
Okay. Do you now see Radiant Sunbolt?
I do.
Awesome. Bingo, bango. All right, guys. Without any further
15,
ado,
6.
So one other, I guess, metagame thing to try to speed up combat. What Dax just did there is fine. If you want to roll your attack and damage at the same time, that might save me having to remind everybody to roll damage. It's, I know, a small measure, but anytime we can save a few seconds, I think it's going to add up over the course of the whole session. So let's take a look at some stuff. I know you guys have already had a chance to read this, but we'll be starting in the town of Swinford. It's located on the southeastern coast of Pendilor. The Bident River runs alongside it, and as it empties into the sea, there's an estuary there that makes for great fishing. Swinford is, however, most well known for its fertile farmlands and delicious pork. Home to a ring of elder stones, some believe the stones are responsible for the large livestock and hardy crops, while some residents believe they are simply blessed by Argenta. This week is Swinford's Festival of the Harvest, which includes games, music, food, and the regionally famous Paper Lantern Ceremony, which has residents and visitors alike write messages of thanks and praise to Argenta before sending them aloft. While most agree the amazing week-long feast is what draws in outsiders, there is much to see and do in Swinford this week. Our story opens on the outskirts of the fair. Each of you was asked to come up with a reason as to why you're in Swinford during the fair this time. It's late afternoon in the lazy town of Swinford. A late summer heat has warmed this fertile coastal valley for the last week and made for unseasonably pleasant evenings. Some dark clouds dot the horizon, but even they cannot dampen the mood of the festival. Lively music drifts out over the empty fields surrounding the festival grounds, and the tempting aroma of frying bacon and fresh pumpkin pie replace the salty sea air. The Harvest Festival is in full swing, with many locals and visitors alike partaking of the many fine foods, strong ales, and delicious treats offered along the festival's midway. Various games of skill and chance have been set up, each rewarding some small token of victory, with the greatest prize being the Harvest Crown. What brought each of you to the festival? Let's start in reverse order while I bring us up to the festival. So,
Dang, that guy's super tall.
yeah. Interesting
Got stilts
side
on
note. We've got 4 characters in this party whose combined weight is still less than my IRL weight.
It's amazing. You need to stop putting on so much muscle then.
and let me preface it by saying I am not morbidly obese. We've got 4 people that are waist tall. I love it.
Don't worry. I think my
fantastic.
character is about half your weight, probably. So there's that.
Nice. So that's the general vibe and feel of the festival. I'm going to move us on to the festival midway map and let you guys just kind of explore the festival grounds. It's a huge map. You may have to zoom out. I've placed you all on relatively separate areas of the map. There are tons of food, games, and music to enjoy. Starting with Sventi's, what brought you to the festival?
I'm gonna turn and look at Alexis. Books, why are we here again? I'm hungry. What did you take us here?
I follow you around. You're the one who usually comes to these places. I had a job here.
This backpack is too heavy. I am going to find the first place I can to sit down and rest my legs. And then I will look into seeing about some of that food.
I mean, I could carry you around. I mean, that's what we normally do, right?
I give you an evil eye. You do not carry me. I'm gonna move
Promise
my
me
character.
at some point you two will do get help.
No. I'm gonna move my character up to right around here. What's this building I'm next to with the question mark on it? Do I need to roll?
No. Each of the icons represents one of the games or features of the festival. Where you at there is the booth called Beriddled. It allows you to match wits with the town sage, and if you can outsmart him, you may win a fair favor.
I'm assuming the one that's below who is that? The bard on the steps? Is that the inn or?
It's the large structure that houses the Ring of Elderstones that this city has sort of grown up around. That particular icon is in the entryway here. They've rigged 2 large sort of rope ladders together in a obstacle course called the Spider's Web, a carnival game.
Okay. I'm gonna find myself here on kind of the corner of the sage's house. I'm just gonna rest on the corner for a second. Let my explorer's pack drop to the floor because I can barely carry my own backpack.
All right. Actually, would it be preferable for everybody just to roll initiative, and that way we can sort of dictate in what order people do stuff? Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Remember to have your character token selected before you roll initiative. You can roll initiative from your character sheet or from the macro in the lower left-hand corner.
I just rolled a 20.
That seems pretty good.
Oh, but it's oh, my bad. I still have my as Kig now.
How did I get 23?
Modifiers.
Mouse over it'll tell you. You rolled a 20-sided die, and you have a +3 to initiative because of a high dexterity.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool.
So not only did you get the maximum possible on a die roll, you also have a really high dexterity.
Oh, I rolled a 16. I'm sorry.
No apologies. Reed Greenbottle, what brings you to Swinford this week?
While traveling alone from my master for the first time, I went to visit the village we rescued, and Petrichor approached me and informed me of this festival, and we decided to travel here together.
What would you like to do with your turn? How would you like to explore the festival?
So, what's this building here?
Ping it for me. That is one of the many eateries. That booth specifically is so it's a pork city. Everything is very well known for their pork products. But this booth specifically is where they sell the tomahawk-style bone-in pork chop called the Hog Hammer.
And the building above and below?
The building directly north of that is a ale house where there's currently a ale drinking competition underway. and just south of it, here-ish, is the Beriddled tent, where you can match wits against the town sage.
Ooh. I think
It
I
is
would
tough.
like to. Who's beside me?
That looks like Petrichor.
Oh, perfect. Petrichor, would you like to try your wits against the town sage?
I don't know. I can't say I trust them too much. I am here on business, so I'd like to do that first. Here to deliver some herbs and things like that to a lady that owns a shop. She does a lot of potions, and it's just something that I do whenever I'm in town.
All right. Do you mind if I accompany you on this errand?
Sure, no problem.
All right. In that case, I go with Petrichor to run his errand and to inspect the potions while I'm there.
Okay. Petrichor, who is the name of the person that you're seeing today?
Yes, it's Mother Noemi. She's an old lady that I met in the woods once. She was gathering some herbs for her potions, and we just had a chat and became friends.
And how the world has changed. Met a strange woman in the woods, now we're buddies.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
but after we see her, we're going to go match wits, okay?
Sure, I suppose so.
Yes, this will be fun.
Kel, what brings you to the Swinford Harvest Festival this week?
I don't know, Leo. What are we doing here?
Oh, we're setting up shop to see if we can get some business. Repairing any of the town festivals, schools, and everything like that. But of course, on top of that, we're here to taste all the pumpkin spice treats.
I do enjoy a good pumpkin spice treat.
Is there any aspect of the festival you want to explore?
I'm also interested in the Beriddled.
Okay. You can head over there. I guess Leo could come with you if you wanted to, since you guys are next to one another already.
You head along. You head up there. I'll catch up. I walk a bit slower than you with my hobble, my limp. So I'll make it to about here. No, he has an actual limp leg.
Like beyond gangster lean.
Like
Egg leg.
due to meta reasons of his dexterity being so bad. But from past injury is the reason game.
As Kel, as you approach the hut where Beriddled takes place, Jezza and Kel both are sort of pushed aside by a angry, flustered man whose face is just beet red. And standing in the doorway is an old man with a wispy white beard, and he twirls it in his index finger while he's clutching some coin in the other hand. Who's next? We'll come right back to you, Kel. Kig, what brings you to the Harvest Festival in Swinford this week?
Kig hungry. Kig here of spicy squash. We want spicy squash.
Definitely don't Google spicy squash.
Is this the way to...
What about feisty squash? Maybe a bit of it.
Feisty squash.
Oh yeah. You know it.
Kig, the booth that you're standing next to is Follow the Bean. As you approach one of the carnival barkers, follow the bean! It's small and green and hard to be seen! Follow the bean! Step right up!
No, don't think I will. Me hungry.
Hard pass from me.
This whole time I'm just ignoring Saz.
All right, we'll come back around to Jezza.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay. That is everyone. Wow,
We
right,
jumped
that
around
is
a
me.
little bit.
Okay, After resting my legs, I'm gonna pick myself back up and throw my backpack, the explorer's back onto me, straining and hating myself. And I'm gonna make my way over to the ball and cup, the follow the ball game.
Mm-hmm. Follow the bean. It's small and green and hard to be seen. Step right up. Hello, little miss. Would you like to play Follow the Bean?
All I heard was you describe me. I pull myself up onto the stool, but I'll play.
Chuckling, he shows you the 3 cups he'll be using and one large, like, rounded bean. Well preserved, doesn't look like it's edible anymore. And he shows you like 2 quick passes, deftly maneuvering his hands to try to confuse you. Shows you where the bean isn't, and then he points at like a small rounded dish where he's expecting you to put a silver piece to play the game. If you guess correctly, you win a favor, and if you guess incorrectly, you can try again.
Does he do change?
Like breaking 100? What are we talking here?
I only have gold pieces on me.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah,
he can give
all
you
right.
change.
Yeah, I'll place the coin down on the table and nod at him.
Okay. He places the green bean under a cup and begins making a series of deft gestures, passing them between left hand and right hand, back and forth, back and forth. Make a perception check.
God. Eight.
Right off the bat, he's moving so fast, like you're still pretty sure you know where it is, but like that certainty has left your mind. Now it's just a best guess. He continues to move deftly back and forth, going ever faster. Make a second perception roll.
9.
Eventually, the deft hands stop. All 3 cups are in a perfect row at the table. He takes his hands completely away from them, palms facing you, and says, "Where is the bean?" Make one final perception check, but because you failed 2, it will be at disadvantage.
Okay, disadvantage.
Oh no.
You guess left side cup. He flicks it over, revealing no bean. Follow the bean! It's small and green and hard to be seen. Would you like to play again?
I eye him wearily and I place another coin on the table.
All right, we'll come right back to you. Alexis, what brings you to the festival, aside from being in tow with Jezza?
Based off of my backstory, while I am in tow with Jezza, I'm the moneymaker of the 2 of us, I do believe, because I run around and I just take odd jobs and such as we move from town to town. I was hired here to be security, but I am not working today. So I'm just here, just in town. But I'm going to walk my way up to this house here.
There's loud ruckus coming out from it. You can hear profane words being sworn out loud, people throwing goblets at each other. This houses a game of chance called Midnight. It's a dice game where you roll 2d6, but one at a time. The first roll is public, everyone is allowed to see it, and additional round of betting happens, and then everyone rolls a second time, highest roll wins.
Sure, I could try this.
Unlike any of the other games at the festival so far, this does not have a fair favor associated with it and is far more expensive to play. It's 1 gold to start, and the second round of betting can go from 1 to 5 gold. But the winner does keep the pot.
Sure, why not? What could go wrong?
All right. Give me 1 second. In the macros tab, Lav, upper right-hand corner cogwheel, 1 over to the hamburger stack, I think. There should be a new button called Midnight Open Roll. If you just toggle that to in-bar, that should just roll a 1d6 for you.
Where is that again? I'm sorry.
In the hamburger stack in the upper right-hand corner, so you've got the cogwheel far right, 1 over to the left from that is collections. And then just click in bar the 2 midnight macros.
They're not there.
That is unfortunate. How about now?
Sure are.
There's the hidden roll one.
Yep.
And the open roll.
Roll.
If it's just going to be you for right now, you can just use the open roll. I wanted to have a hidden roll option in case we were going to do any 2 players at the same time shenanigans.
Okay.
Okay, so the first roll happens. So far, in your table of 6, you are the high die roller with a 6 showing. 2 people withdraw, 4 people remain, each putting in 2 gold. You can bet up to 5, forcing them to match that bet, or you can just put in the 2.
I'm going to put in 3.
Okay. Everybody's got 3. There's now 15 gold in the pot. Roll your second die. Total of 9. Unfortunately, someone else has rolled a 10. They take the pot. You have lost 4 gold.
Unfortunate.
All right.
Are you vocal about your disappointment?
Yeah, I mean, throw mugs and shit talk. Apparently, that's the way it's been going.
Nah, I'm just like,
Easy come, easy go.
Hey.
Leo,
Try.
what would you like to do? Go ahead.
I had a quick meta question.
Sure.
Can I assume that I have cast Find Familiar before, because it just sort of is always with you anyways?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Cool.
It's like a reasonable assumption at level 4. All right, Leo.
All right, I'm gonna hobble my way across and I guess hear some loud yelling, grumbling from the area. So I'm gonna check out this dice game
Okay.
and walk on in and be like, "Well, what's going on in here?"
There's
Well, what are you kids up to?
3 full tables. There is an empty spot next to a slender half-elven woman. As you approach, she sort of moves gently aside to make sure that there's plenty of room to get in. You're not sure whether she's being polite or making a nod to your ample size.
I plop down,
a little bit of both.
kind of abruptly, with a force. No gracefulness whatsoever. My sitting.
Okay. Once seated, Alexis, why don't you describe yourself?
I am. Sorry. I'm about 20 or 21 years of age. From the looks of it, I'm about 5'8". I have a mostly olive skin with short black hair and green eyes. I have mostly just a very just basically like a cloth outfit, long sleeves that cover my arms, and I have a hood. It may or may not be up or down. I don't really care. But that I usually have it up when I'm outside, but when I'm in here, I guess I have it down.
Okay. And sitting next to you is a stout, tall dwarf, unusually so for a dwarf. Leo, describe yourself.
Yeah, he's about taller than your average dwarf, about 5'3", but he's shorter than your average human. He's got the facial features of a human, but he has the like facial hair and the hair of like a dwarf. But he has more of like a jolly expression in his face, just as kind of a resting jolly face instead of a resting bitch face. Similar to like what Santa Claus would be like.
Guard JF.
And his hair's blonde. Wearing mostly what looks like to be blacksmith's, like your average blacksmith clothing. So
Nice.
an apron,
And he just
just
walk
some,
around in his apron. That's awesome.
yeah, basically. And you know if you were noticing when he walked in, he had a notable limp.
All right. One other quick meta note. Anytime there's a token in the world, you guys can click it, I believe, and hit the Z button on your keyboard to zoom up and see a enlarged version of that token.
It will not let me.
I can only do it for my own token.
That might be all you can do then. Womp womp.
But I mean, for what it's worth, the facial features of my character is exactly my token.
Nice.
So.
All right, we'll come right back to Leo in a second. Petrichor, you were looking to sell some herbs to Noemi.
More like just drop them off for her as a favor. But I guess by this time we could be done. So we could be saying bye to her. So bye, Numi. I'll see you soon again. And then I looked to Reed Greenbot, and I was like, all right, continue. You lead the way. I've done what I was here for. So we can enjoy the rest of the celebrations.
No other business at the Alchemists.
At the moment.
Okay.
Yes. Time for games. Follow me.
You guys leave the Bitterberry, which is the alchemist shop here in Swinford, and move back to the festival midway here. Petrichor, it's your turn. What would you like to explore?
Where can I get pumpkin flavored things?
Any of the food marked guys here will get you pumpkin or pork flavored anything you can imagine.
So, what do you think about this place, Reed?
Pumpkin flavored pork.
Well, it's food, which is great, but it's not games. I thought we were here to play.
Play. Uh-oh. I have made a mistake.
They have on offer some very special delicacy. In addition to all the pumpkin flavored stuff and any assortment of pork product, this place also sells a very special dessert, a honey pear tart. It's a very flaky pastry filled with honey glazed pears. And she swears it's definitely worth the 1 silver she's charging for it.
Sounds good. I'll buy it.
That does sound
Flaky and
interesting.
buttery, just kind of breaks apart in your hand, and literally the layers just melt on your tongue as you chew through it greedily. Zaz, what would you like to explore?
Zaz is here to find the gentleman that he's supposed to drop all these documents off to, a gnome by the name of Bix Whistleburst, but has never been to this city, and the city's huge, so he's just actually lost.
That seems right. Do you have any interest in exploring the carnival games, or would you like to try to find someone in the city who can maybe point you in the correct direction so you can make contact?
He's going to kind of politely avoid most of the festival stuff because he's a cleric and doesn't think his money is his own, so he can't afford this crap. He's going to try and find the temple instead to see if they know where to find this guy.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Heck yeah.
People seem not put off by the fact that you're a kobold, but maybe they just don't see many around Swinford. So while no one's like scared of you, no one's going out of their way to be especially friendly, at least not as friendly as they seem to be to everyone else.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You eventually find some guy who just begrudgingly, without making great eye contact, points you to the northwest at the top of a hill, where there's the temple. The guy that you're looking for is usually inside, preparing for the next mass, or cleaning up the place, or lighting candles, or whatever you priests do.
Oh boy, I like this guy.
Yeah, he's got like a certain amount of distaste. You think comfortingly so that it's maybe not just you so much as it is every damn thing.
Mm-hmm. In that case, yeah, Zaz is just going to kind of keep his head down and slowly march up that hill to the temple.
Okay. Do you outwardly wear a holy symbol, or is there any outward recognition of your god?
No, because there is some discussion as to whether my god is chaotic evil, which is to say, my god is chaotic evil, and I didn't know that. So, no.
We're being healed by an evil god. Oh man, that's actually pretty good. Not gonna lie.
All right.
Are
you're marching up to the temple? Go ahead.
I just had a question real quick. Are you aware that your god is evil? Or are you more like naive about it?
No, Zaz has been doing this for a while and kind of knows what's up, but also knows that he has the free will to do good things.
I like that. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Zaz marches off up the hill to see a man about a candle or something. Reed, it's your turn.
All right, I've waited. It's time to go play. I'm gonna go down and test my luck over here. Come on, Petrichor. You promised. Let's go.
You looking to play
Yeah.
Beriddled?
Yes.
All right. Stepping inside, there's an old man. The inside is like velveteen purple drapes tacked to the wall, and there's like a weird crystal ball edifice on the table. Sage is and incense is burning in the back room. Like everything is done to just really push like this, just worst kind of master of the arcane mysteries vibe. An old man sits at a table twirling his beard, taking slow puffs off of a cobbled pipe, and he invites you to sit down, and then jingles a tin that has maybe 300 or 400 silver pieces in it. It's massive. Think of it like coffee can sized, and gestures for you to sit down and place your silver point inside.
All right.
And that this, that's the contract for you engaging in the battle of wits with him.
Intriguing. I like the place. Here's 1 silver. I want to play with you now.
As soon as you take your seat, your eyes lock, and he says, "What has to be broken before you can use it? Answer quickly now." He mimics or marks that there's an hourglass. A sand hourglass has been turned over, and it's rapidly running.
Ah, crap.
What has to be broken before you can use it?
I'm actually terrible at riddles. What do I do?
Oh, you're not going to do well at this, son. You've already wasted half your time. Still have 3 riddles to go.
Oh, it has to be
dear.
broken before you can use it.
If you want to, as your character, you can make a wisdom check, and if the check is high enough, I'll give you, the player, a clue.
Thank you. I would like to do that.
That's a saving throw, but we can keep the 15.
Oh.
So next time, just click on the word wisdom, but the 15 is plenty good.
Okay.
What has to be broken before you can use it? Consider breakfast foods.
Eggs.
Ah!
The answer is eggs.
He seems upset that you got it, but marks that the hourglass is now more than halfway empty, and looks at you, locking eyes again, seriously. I am tall when I am young, and I am short when I am old. What am I?
Can I do the same again?
Sure.
The wisdom. Thanks.
15. I am tall when I am young. I am short when I am old. What am I? Imagine something that can be used to produce light.
You are a candle, sir.
Dash. He looks, smiling that there's only a few grains of sand left in the hourglass, and quickly says, "What is full of holes but still holds water?"
Oh no.
Unfortunately,
I am
you have
stumped.
just a few seconds, and you don't get to roll on this one. Oh, you don't. He says, "Ha ha! A sponge!" Proud of himself, he claps a few times out loud. Did you know that one, Basics?
I did.
Then just puts the coin back and sort of
These are great.
asks you to step out.
I thank the man for the riddles. It was fun, and I enjoyed my time with him.
He says, "You're welcome to come back whenever you wish.
I may take you
Happy
up
to have
on
an
that,
easy
sir.
fight."
I hate riddles, but thanks.
Makes me break my cardinal rule. Never engage in battle with an unarmed man.
A battle of wits. Nice.
Yep. All right, Kel, what would you like to be doing?
Well, I'd like to also play the beriddling game.
Ooh, beriddle it. All right. Same
Try. I
drill.
hope you prepared a lot of riddles.
I have. He asks you to sit down. Same drill. Put your silver point in. He flips the hourglass over, locks eyes just intensely, almost trying to intellectually intimidate you. What question can you never answer yes to? He taps the glass on the hour.
Can I roll wisdom for this?
Sure. What question can you never answer yes to? Consider a question you might say to a loved one or a child at bedtime. But if posed to you, you could never answer yes to.
Are you
See,
asleep?
that's
Yep, are you asleep? Oh, an easy one, an easy one. He locks eyes with you again intensely. What is always in front of you, but can't be seen?
Your nose.
Incorrect! He took deep relish in that. You can see your nose.
That's fair.
He says, the future, lad. All right, and lastly, marking that the hourglass is more than halfway empty. What can you break, even if you never pick it up or touch it? Hurry now, stalling's not going to make you any smarter.
Did you not hear me? I said a heart.
Yeah, I would accept that. I like that answer. Damn it all, he says again, smacking almost over the coins. Fine, fine, fine. He rummages through a bag that he's got beside him on the ground and offers you a paper lantern kit or a stuffed doll that's the town mascot, Porker the Pig.
I'll take the paper lantern kit.
Oh man.
Good choice.
You swear you hear him mutter something about smartass on the way out the door. Kig?
Kig slams his fist down. Well, only his fist because he can't really see his body because he's so short. Down on the table and says, "This is not spice. This is sweet. Give me spicy squash." I'm in a bit of rage. I turn around. I throw gold at the guy, and I go back to Zaz and ask him what he's doing.
Zaz is not beside you. He's taken up going to the northwest up a long hill. Not steep, but it's just like a long, gentle grade.
Yeah, basics. I think we should quickly establish you and I, despite being kobolds and put in the same place, thanks racist GM, did not actually come into the city together. I haven't seen you in years.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Well, I'm pretty good. I'm done eating. So I think now that now that my stomach's full, I'm gonna go back and like observe what's going on with this beam that I heard from earlier, and I see this little green person standing at a chair.
Yeah, Jezza, a small, average size to you, scaly creature, sidles up beside you. You watch in fascination as his glinty, squinty eyes follow the bean. Kig, describe yourself.
I'm Kig is do you want me to do it in character or?
That's up to you. Whatever level of comfort you have. I think for immersion's sake, it's always nice if you just inhabit that character, but some people aren't comfortable with it.
Yeah. Cool. I turn over to Jezza and say, "What are you doing? This looks easy. Can I have a try?" Kig's the name, but you can call me the sword.
Nice.
I mean, he could take a look at me and see that I'm a gray, small kobold. I don't think I need to explain that.
Fair enough. Jezza, in response, do you want to step aside and let him have a turn, or were you looking to go again on your next turn?
The idea is, while this has been going on, have I been playing more games with the guy, or is that just kind of this?
I think probably we'll pick up right where you were after having just lost your last one.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that because I kind of noticed you frustrating from the side eating my quote unquote spicy squash.
take a turn to the kobold real quick with like an eye, and I look back at the table. I'm like, all right, you play fate. I hop off the stool, pull my bag to the side. Stupid game.
As a somewhat flustered green-skinned goblin pushes past you, Jezza, do you want to describe yourself in any other? Is there anything else we should know?
Basically, just wearing plain clothes that you'd basically see wandering the streets. The only remarkable thing would be a very well-crafted quarterstaff, perfectly fit for a person of my size, is resting on my back underneath the straps of my backpack, or my explorer's pack. Also, my game keeps my map. Sorry, my map is freaking out for some reason. So I'm trying to move my character, but it's dragging.
All right.
I'll hop out of the way, and I'm going to wander up to the. Oh my god! The map is freaking out. I don't know why. Hold on, I'm going to restart Roll20.
Yeah, you may have to reload. Kig, you sit down. The festival guy doesn't seem to be bothered by you at all. You have had your share of sort of negative interactions with humans in the past. Who sometimes tend to be a little judgmental, especially with races they aren't too terribly familiar with. But he meets your eye line and says, after leaning in close, follow the bean, it's small and green and hard to be seen. And then just motions for you to put your silver point or your silver piece in the pot, and he'll begin the game.
I throw a silver piece into the pot.
Okay. He gives you a quick demonstration of how the game will work, showing you under the cup a couple of quick moves, showing you where it is. Then he begins much faster than the demo. He's moving very, very quick. The ball has already changed hands multiple times. You're not 100% sure. Make your first perception roll as you try to follow this guy's lightning hands.
Sorry. Looking for it. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, you've like lowered your chin to the table and you're just paying perfect attention. You know exactly where the bean is. He tries this move where he puts like all three of them in one place, moving several of them almost off the table with one hand while trying to distract you with his other hand that is not occupying any cups. Make a second perception roll as he tries to fake you. Oh man, here's the birdie. You look back and you realize he swapped all three cups places in the time it took for you to look at here's the birdie. So now you're not certain anymore. Eventually, he raised them all three lined up in front of you. Make one last perception roll.
all right.
Straight up.
Come on, Kig. Yeah.
Nice.
You, with a clawed finger, just tap on the center cup, and he flips it open, already frowning, and there's a green bean beneath it.
I laugh as loud as I can.
Guffawing. He offers you the option of a wooden sword made for a child or a puzzle knot.
Wooden sword. I take the wooden sword and I play with it. I'm like walking towards the center all happy. I don't even say goodbye to him. I just turn around with my sword.
Jezza, you watch as this very youthful kobold is now just sort of shadow fencing an unknown assailant with his wooden sword he just won from Follow the Bean. What would you like to do?
I'm basically just sitting there. I just do a little in frustration. I'm gonna wander on up to the food stall over here and just ask for whatever it is they're selling that's hot.
They've got pork chops, they've got pork sausage, and they also have candied bacon.
Oh.
I'll take a handful of the candy bacon.
Nice. The large, sort of portly man operating the grill here and the counter seems to be a little sweet on you, and despite the price being 5 gold per, he'll just give you the whole thing for 1 silver.
I tilt my head and flicker my eyes. Thank you, sir. And I walk away before he can second guess his decision.
Then apparently Zell casts a gust of wind.
Sorry, I'm still getting used to the interface.
No worries. Alexis,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
Um,
Do you and Leo want to play another game together? Since you're both here and he's right after you.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So at your table, there are several other people. I'll be rolling for one of them. We each of us put a gold in and use the open roll macro.
Okay.
Neither of us, none of us, are the high roll. The dealer, the fair operator, has a 5 showing, and max bets up to 5 gold. Everyone except the 2. Well, it's up to you guys. You can fold out, but the fair dealer has put in 5 gold, the maximum, and one other patron, a young woman with tan skin, looking kind of like a milkmaid or a farmer of some size, shape, or variety, has decided to stay in, matching the 5 gold. What would you guys like to do?
Okay.
I'm gonna laugh heartily, like, ha ha ha! This doesn't look good for me at all. And then say, well, you never live if you don't try. And then
Oh no.
5 gold.
Okay. Go ahead and roll again, everybody.
Damn it.
Oh, why is my
Nope. Unfortunately, the dealer wins again with 9.
Oof.
I think it's embarrassing that we couldn't come up with anything better than a 6. That's rough.
So we all lose 6 gold?
Yep.
Oh no. Leo, you don't have much to begin with, bud.
I got 20 left. It's fine. I'm just gonna say, oh, that was a fun game. I did enjoy it.
Several people leave and more filter in. You can stay and play if you want to, or you guys can explore other facets of the festival.
I feel like I've wasted too much money. So I'm gonna back out and I'm gonna head over to the thing with the hammer over here.
Oh, I want to follow you.
That is Toll the Bell. A large war maul has been placed on a small wooden platform. There is a levered plate on one end, and at the other end is a hefty weight attached to a vertical rail. It seems like with enough force, you could strike this plate, maneuvering the lever, forcing the weight up this rail. At the very top of its rail, 20 feet or so up, there's a large bell. The idea being if you can strike that plate with enough force with that war maul, you could actually ring the bell.
Well, I'm not very strong, but I'm gonna try it anyway, just because I'm cocky like that.
Make a strength check.
Oh,
Just strength. That's a saving throw, but we can use the 19.
Okay, where am I supposed to hit strength? Golly.
You just click the word strength on your character sheet, like where you're in the stats.
I missed it. Sorry, I clicked it and it didn't work, but I was clicking the number.
You're good. It's a great roll. Daintily, you approach the platform, choke up on the mallet, and everybody sort of laughs, and they're like taking, side bets as to how high you're actually going to get it. Some say you won't even move the lever at all. You draw the hammer up over your hand with both hands, bringing it crashing down on the levered platform. Ding! Rings out, it's immediately silencing everyone in the crowd. Curious and bizarre looks are rapidly exchanged. People just look at you like you have a third eye or something. It's unbelievable that a slight half-elven woman could have tolled the bell. The guy operating the thing just kind of looks at you dumbfounded for a minute as you wait for your fair prize.
I'm doing a little jig. I'm just kind of going, yeah, I didn't think I could do this, but yeah, woo!
He inspects the equipment to make sure there's not a malfunction, and once he's satisfied, he offers you the opportunity to have a paper lantern kit or a stuffed scarecrow doll.
Take the stuffed scarecrow doll.
Leo?
I'm gonna walk up to the
Did I put that in my
hammer
stuff?
game, clapping, laughing for Lab's character, and then I'm gonna say something along the lines of, "Oh, I think I could give it a good shot." Then I'm gonna try my hand at the game.
You're gonna fail.
If I do, that's gonna be great. I hope I do.
I
honestly.
kind of punch him playfully in the arm. All right, little man, let's see if you can beat me.
Then I guess I'm gonna grab them all and just give it a good shot.
Nice.
Wait,
Wow.
Exactly the same. The ball handle even cracks a little bit from the force of the blow. The guy just looks at it. He's picking up the worm turning it over in his hands, looking twice, like he can't believe that 2 people have tolled the bell in less than 10 seconds. He offers you the option of a wooden sword, a wooden shield, or a stuffed scarecrow doll.
I'll take the wooden shield.
All right, Petrichor.
I'm gonna go ahead and try this riddle thing.
And I will be right back. Sorry, to the restroom.
All right.
Beware, he's tricky.
You sit before a guy at a table stroking his long white beard while he puffs on a pipe. He motions for you to deposit your silver, the cost to play the game, in a bucket beside him. I assume that you do that, and as soon as you sit down, he quickly flips over an hourglass, locks just absolutely intent gaze upon you, and says, "What goes up but never comes down?"
Oh god.
Don't overthink it
I
now.
had a terrible thought. I'm so sorry.
Don't overthink it. Ting, ting, ting. He says, tapping on the hourglass.
I'll do what is it? Intelligence.
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Oh god.
Your character is really just at a loss. Maybe this is like a cultural thing. In the Wood Elf tribe that you grew up in, riddles were not a thing. You're a little bit at a loss. Like you're thinking about it too critically, and when finally the old man goes, "Your age! Surely someone as old as you could know that."
Oh Jesus Christ.
He says, okay, fine. An easy one. Consider this. A man who was outside in the rain without an umbrella or hat doesn't get a single hair on his head wet. Why?
He's bald.
Oh, damn it, you've heard this one. He picks up the hourglass looking at it. It's okay, it's not gonna matter. What can you keep after giving to someone?
The faith.
Say that again?
Faith.
I like that, yeah. Dash it all, he says. 2 in a row, he mutters as he's going through his bag. He offers you a paper lantern kit or an elaborate piece of costume jewelry that's like it looks like a giant opal ring, but it's just so gaudy, it's obviously fake, but...
I'll take the paper lantern kit.
All right. Zaz, you make it to the top of the hill. And what was the name of the gnome you were looking for?
Bix. I'm fiercely messing with my character sheet.
Oh,
so
I really liked the name.
Bix Whistleburst.
You ask for him at the first person you come to at the temple. It is largely ornamented for worshippers of Argenta, but it's one of these common houses that kind of holds multi-denominational services. Sort of members of all faith are welcome as long as they abide by some common decency rules. Eventually, Whistleblast appears. Yes, may I help you?
Hello, I am Zaz, and I wrote to you some time ago about some documents to bring to you, and I have brought them for you. And I'm gonna like from my bag, I'm just gonna bring out a big pile of documents.
Okay. Was he expecting them?
He was. It was a deal for my documents for some books to go for my shrine.
Excellent. So he has books for you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes.
He takes a moment, looks through the papers that you've brought him, rolls them up and hands them off to like a scribe or assistant that's sort of just milling about the interior of the shrine, and then offers you 3 leather-bound books. One of them is very old and its binding is not in great shape, but he takes very gentle care with it. It seems to be the one he values the most.
Zaz actually kind of look at these books. Oh, they're very large. All right. Thank you very much. I will take excellent care of all 3 of them.
He says, "May the light of Argenta be with you."
And Talos loves you too. And Zaz's work is done, but kind of wants to at least watch the festivities from afar.
Okay.
So I think as he leaves the temple, he's going to sit on a rooftop or the hilltop and just kind of like watch and listen as people are happy.
Nice. As you sit on the top of the hill, there are some dark clouds on the horizon out over the ocean. You couldn't see them great from the fairgrounds, but at this elevated position, you can see them. In the very, very, very far off distance, there's just the tiniest little flash of light in these dark clouds. There's a compelling lightning storm happening some miles offshore. But whereas most people are looking at it as a sense, with an ominous feeling, it's comforting to you, almost like a reminder of the promise of faith that you've been worshiping.
Yeah, that's way more exciting than the festival. He's going to start bringing out his holy symbol and some a censer, fill that with some water, and just start praying and watching the storm.
Back to Reed.
After admiring Petricor's lantern, it is really quite lovely. I don't think I'm going to win at this riddle game, though, and I really want to find one for myself. So let's find something else to do. What is this right here?
That is across the entryway to their shrine of the Elder Stones. The massive building here has got this elaborate archway, and between 2 of the arches has been strung like a 20-foot rope ladder obstacle course.
I'm going to that next.
Called Spider's Climb, and the object is to make it from one side to the other. The trick is that all 4 interlocking rope ladders are all anchored to a single rotating point at either end, making it incredibly hard to get across without falling off.
Well, I am quite acrobatic. I think I will try my hand at that instead.
Okay.
I love it.
1 silver piece to buy in, and
of course.
You can make either an athletics or an acrobatics check, whichever you prefer.
I prefer acrobatic.
Excellent. With like 2 deft maneuvers, you're barely touching the ropes. You've already sort of vaulted and tumbled to the halfway point. As you land, though, you find that it starts to rotate on you. This is where most people fall because they don't know how to maintain balance against 4 insecure, non-rigid walls. And as it begins to spin, I need you to make 1 more acrobatics check.
You got this.
Check. That is very poor, and like so many other people before you, you start to spin out of this artificial net. I will allow for a dexterity saving throw because you did not fail by more than 5 to try to hang in there. So where you've been making excellent. So just before your chin hits the sidewalk, you manage with your toes and 1 pinky finger to grab the outstretched limbs of the rope ladder and stop yourself from falling completely out. You wait for the rope ladder to steady, and 1 more acrobatics check to try to either fall to your imperiled end or make it to the other side.
Before I do, I just kind of call out, "Wow, this is thrilling," and then continue. God damn it!
Oh no! Sticky fingers from the cart, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, you just cannot find purchase on this rope ladder, and you just slip out between two of the bindings and fall. You know, there's a bard right beside you singing festival tunes. Actually, where are my festival tunes? Sorry, there you have. I just realized they haven't been playing. Apparently, because nothing works.
Dun, da, da, da.
Cool.
Da.
We'll just use this for now. It's a little hokey, but
Bonus action
It's
to
good
try
for now.
again.
nope. Unfortunately, you're out. the
Damn.
the bard there beside you starts singing a more upbeat song and tells you, "It's not fair. They built it spaced out for human people."
I've never been afraid of a challenge.
Kel, your turn.
God, that sucks.
What's this
pretty
one
good
with
with
the lips?
There's
Lips.
a woman holding a bouquet of flowers, and she is offering to kiss any patron for 1 silver piece.
I think I will also go over to the spider's climb
Okay.
as well and try my hand at it.
Same rules as before, either acrobatics or athletics with 1 silver buy-in.
Okay. I'll put down 1 silver to try it out.
Okay. Great start. Same as everybody else. You're fast out of the gate, very limber, very agile. You hit this moment at the center where the whole thing starts to rotate on that singular axis point. 1 more acrobatics check. Oh, deft.
Nice.
You just kind of tumble and roll against the restraints and make it cleanly out the other side. Everyone is amazed both at how quickly you've done it and how you barely touched the rope at all. Like it was, like people are genuinely in awe of you.
I feel ashamed.
The guy who hasn't had many winners today offers you a choice of a Porker the Pig stuffed doll. That's the patron of Swinford, or a Swinford pennant. It's a green and white triangle with a swine's head crest on it. And he tells you that 3 pennants, and you can redeem it for a harvest crown.
I'll take the pennant.
Okay. Kig.
Alrighty. Playing. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to join them. After getting kind of bored with my wooden sword, I kind of throw it off to the side, thinking like I have a real one. What am I doing? And then I saw Kel's amazing feat of acrobatics, and I'm like, and I think to myself, King can do that with his eyes closed. And he goes and gives it a shot.
Okay.
So 1 silver, right?
And then acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh, goodness. You just take a moment to take some of the gear off your back, and you just slink through it like a snake, serpentining through half the course. 1 more
Oh, hell
acrobatics check. Yeah, that's sufficient. You clear it. Again, this guy who has seen nobody clear the course, 2 people have just done it in less than a few seconds. He's just dumbfounded, and gives you the option of either a paper lantern kit or a Swinford pennant.
I take the paper lantern kit and look over at Kel and give him a nice little smirk, like,
Kel, I don't think you've had a chance to describe yourself yet to these new friends or enemies that you're making.
Frenemies.
So Kel is a young, I guess, like still late teens, has shoulder-length white hair and purple eyes, and has a black cloak. And trailing behind them is it looks like a black cat, but it's a little see-through, and if you squint, you can definitely see white bones within.
Nice.
I quickly turn to the cat and try and pet it.
Does the cat have a name?
Let me get back to you on that one. I hadn't actually thought of naming my familiar yet.
Jezza?
Okay, so as I'm leaving the stall and people have been moving into the spider's web, I hear the bell ring, and I see Alexis with a mouthful of candied bacon. I move up towards the symbol, and I just kind of motion to her. She turns, and I'm like, "Run!"
Heck yeah, I won!
Oh, cheat! I swallow and offer her a piece of candied bacon, shoving the rest in my pocket.
Ooh, pocket
I
bacon.
take a piece of the bacon.
But through mumbling, even though it was half full, I said, "You cheat?"
Nope. Not this time.
The guy at the game is now eyeing you with his arms crossed.
Nope, not this time.
Not this time. That's exactly what Carney wants to hear.
So out of
Carrying
random,
some heavy. Pardon?
sorry, I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna ask it.
I just notion like got heavy bucks this time. Kind of turn. Do I notice this? Has everyone noticed this storm that you said is brewing dry, or has only
I
Zaz
think
seen it?
probably only Zaz has had the vantage to really see it. It's
Okay.
far away and offshore a good distance. At ground level, I don't know that you'd be aware of it yet.
Yeah, I'm below ground level almost. Looking around and noticing everyone, I look over towards the spider's nest. You said is what it's called?
Spider's web, yeah.
Spider's web, and I notice as they're going into the building, I kind of notice Kel and Reed, and I make my way like, no way. And I start like wandering my way over there, and I catch them as they're coming down from the spider's web, and basically just going to admire them and ask if I can have a go.
The guy running the event is kind of like already got head in hand. Oh God, are you agile and dexterous? I suppose. Fine. Offers you the opportunity for your 1 silver buy-in. He resets the course, untangling all of the rope laddering. It's your turn to go.
All right. So acrobatics or athletics, you said?
Yes, please.
All right. I lower my backpack down to the ground. I look at him. Can I use my stick?
He contemplates for a moment, and he looks over his shoulder at the other 2 victors who just recently trounced his thing, and goes, "No."
Kind of frown at him. I put my stick down with my backpack. All right. Acrobatics.
Yeah, you dash through it effortlessly. You get to that center point where, again, everybody seems to be losing their balance the tiniest bit here, and like everybody else, it begins to rotate on that singular access point. Make a second acrobatics check.
Oof.
It starts to go pear-shaped on you. You get caught in this whirl, and you kind of instinctively crouch down into a small shape because that's always helped you in the past. But unfortunately, that's created like an imbalance, and that just makes you whip around even faster. You starting to lose your grip. Make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, you're able to stabilize the situation. You go like 4 corners, arms and legs, each into a different link of the rope. It's stabilized now. You may attempt 1 more acrobatics check. You're in a precarious spot. This result will either get you out or get you down.
Yep. Kinda. Like muttering to myself. It's like, human rope's too big.
But you
Nice.
leapfrog from one to the next until you're all the way out tumbled, seemingly having done it only through sheer force of will. He offers you the opportunity to have either a Swinford pennant or a piece of costume jewelry that looks like a banded silver bracelet that's made of interlocking arrowheads.
Ooh. Jezza's immediately drawn to the shiny thing and immediately takes the bracelet.
Alexis?
Well, I wanted to go to the rope ladder, but I feel like that's everybody's idea. So I'm gonna do that anyway. So I walk up and be like, "Hey, this seems like my cup of tea."
Same drill. 10 silver, and you can try to climb through the spider's web.
All right.
Good job, John. You found a way to get the party all together. Give them a tube.
Yep. Tubes are things. 23 is an amazing start. You kind of vault yourself through, watching other people, do it first. You're at the halfway point. It begins to start to spin on you. Oh no. And you fail. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to hold on. Otherwise you're going to fall the 2 feet out onto the stone beneath. Nice. You grab hold, you wait for the spinning to stop. You're starting to get a little dizzy and a little bit nauseous. But once it's stabilized, you can attempt another acrobatics check. Oh man, and you basically are belly crawling across the lowest rope, but you managed to get all the way across. Not the most graceful performance, not the cleanest run, but a complete run. He offers you a Swinford pennant or a puzzle knot.
I'm gonna take the puzzle knot.
Okay.
And I also throw the stuffed animal at Jezza. Scarecrow.
Books, I can't carry more stuff.
But it seemed just right up your alley.
I mean, at that point, it's almost like portable cover for her.
Right?
All right, Leo. What would you like to do?
So after winning the hammered swing,
Yep.
he has his hands on his hips, kind of with like a satisfied laugh. He's looking off towards the spider's web.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then to his left, he hears chanting going on with the drinking game, and that's gonna grab his attention, and his dwarven side's gonna take over and head over here to the drinking game.
Okay.
I apologize for not getting the group together.
They have just finished the last round. There are people just openly vomiting off the rails of this alehouse. You see one guy just passed out face down beneath the bar. This is not for the faint-hearted. The barkeep of the alehouse. Would you like to play Tankards Up? Starting our next heat very shortly.
This looks like a game for me. Count me in.
He lines up.
Is this Constitution?
Yeah, he lines up a
Oh,
dozen
hell yeah, I'm going there
giant 2-pint tankards and begins to fill them with just a ton of ale. As it's being dispensed, you get this like bitter aroma. It's very much a dwarven stout.
Is it any stronger? Is it any stronger than the stouts of my?
No, you're well suited to this because you're accustomed to drinking this way. But it's you look around at the competition, and it's doubtful that human farmers are accustomed to drinking something quite so potent.
Nice.
There are, for the sake of this game, 3 drinking speeds. Slow speed, which will net you advantage on your Constitution saving throws, which you'll be making to not get sick and not become drunk. A good or normal pace, which is just a straight up con roll, or the chug, which allows you to drink very, very fast, but you'll be making con saves with disadvantage. You will be making your saving throw after each tankard is emptied. And once you've failed 3 times, you are sick, drunk, or unconscious, possibly dead. At a slow pace, you can consume 1 tankard every 3 rounds. At a good pace, you can consume 1 tankard every 2 rounds. And chugging it, you get 1 tankard per round.
Okay.
Would you like to slow, normal, or chug?
Well, as is the Dwarven way, slow and steady wins the race. So he will be chugging, or he will be drinking at a slow pace, but
Okay.
at a very steady pace.
After the first maybe 30 seconds go by, there are a couple people who've already finished their second tankard. You've just finished your first. Make a con saving throw with advantage. Perfect. Do you continue to maintain your same pace, or do you want to start drinking any faster?
Same pace.
Okay. After about the minute mark, there's 2 guys already out, another 2 that are on their 3rd tankard, and everybody else is tied with you or behind you. You polish off your 2nd tankard, and I need a con saving throw. Perfect. They continue to drink. We're now at the 90-second mark. You're just about polishing off your 3rd. 1 guy has finished 5. The other guy that was on his 5th has passed out. There are 2 people also on 3, and everybody else is at 1 or less still. At the end of your 3rd, make a con saving throw. Amazing. Going into the last round, you're still working on number 4. The guy that... Let me hold on. This isn't rolling. Oh no. The guy that was on his 5th one has passed out drunk. He vomits on himself a little bit and then just falls off of his stool. That puts you in the lead at this point. Make your Constitution saving throw at the end of your 4th tankard. Perfect. They begin to pour your 5th tankard. The only other person anywhere near you has also gotten sick and passed out. They look at the timer that's left. There's only a few seconds. They thrust your heavy dwarven arm up in the air, the obvious victor. Everyone else is dizzy and sick. You haven't even gotten drunk.
I'm gonna laugh. Ha ha ha! I knew I would be good at this.
One guy looks at you. Fucking dwarf! And then just belches and vomits all over himself, passing out on the on the bar.
I hop off my stool or my seat or whatever and start walking around and patting everyone on the back. Good game! Good game!
Nice. The barkeep, the captain of the alehouse, offers you either a paper lantern kit or a Swinford pennant.
I will take the...
Excellent. Petrichor, it's your turn. What would you like?
Okay. So I was kind of in shock of not getting that first riddle. I was like, how could I not get it? And I was putting away my paper lantern kit and didn't notice that Reed had walked away. So I'm just gonna kind of come over here, but I don't do very well in crowds as a hermit, and I'm not really very social, I guess. So I'm just gonna kind of stand here and watch as they're all doing that whole thing at the spider's web, waiting for Reed to do his thing.
Okay. Zaz, back up to you. You've set up your full-blown meditation kit. You've got your yoga mat. You're enjoying the distant storm. You are so close to, like, you've heard from your former captors and then your friends and then your mentor about these deep meditative states. But maybe, I don't know, it's hard to know whether or not you're actually meditating correctly. You feel like you've gotten close a few times, but you also have this sense that it's always just eluded you. You feel like you're having a one-sided conversation with someone every time you try this. But as the pleasant aromas, the beautiful smells from the feast down below, and the waft of laughter sort of blend together with the very distant rolling thunder that you can hear. Even as you close your eyes, you can softly see the flashes of lightning in the distance. You, for the first time that you can remember, enter what you would consider a meditative state. Everything, all of your senses sort of dull a little bit. The laughter isn't quite so loud, the smells are slightly muted. But what's more pronounced than anything else is the sound of rolling thunder. I'm gonna type something to you 1 second.
I really appreciate this roleplay that's going on in the text while I wait.
Full disclosure, I was researching halflings and their relationships with other races, and they like dwarves, trust dwarves as friends, but never take them at their word. And they find elves to be fascinating and beautiful and like these amazing, incredible creatures. And I decided that Reed would take it to the next level and just be infatuated every time he saw an elf. Male or female, it did not matter. It was just, oh, elves are beautiful. And like momentary distraction, essentially. So that's a little backstory on that.
Oh boy.
All right. As you continue to meditate, Reed, it's back to your turn. You're having a lot of fun watching everybody do the spider's web. It turns out that it's obviously the festival favorite event. There's a whole crowd of people that have been, drawn to watch. People are chanting for their favorite, whether it's Kel or Kig or Jez. They're asking their favorite people to run it again because it was so amazing to watch them dash through it, unhindered. I need you, Reed, to make a perception roll for me.
Absolutely. Shit! The hell! What is with these sevens?
Consistency, I suppose. My boss would tell you that consistency is only a virtue if you're not a fuck up.
Jesus.
Excuse me. Your boss sounds like quite the character.
You are taken out of the majesty of this event for just a moment. Amongst all of the happy, cheering, clapping, eating, cheering, there's like sometimes when something is just so radically different from every other sound around you, it kind of breaks through the din of the noise around you, and you hear it again. There's the sound of a very concerned, it's like that motherly concerned voice. She keeps saying, why won't you listen to me? Turn around. What's going on? And there seems to be a sort of a commotion. You can hear people start making like a gasping sound behind you over here by where the food, where the hog hammer tent was.
I suddenly just fall silent in my conversation with my new companions and turn to face the sound of this commotion and just again piqued by my everlasting curiosity, decide to move over and investigate.
As you approach this woman, she's dragging hard on the arm of this man who just is persistently just walking away from her. Won't turn around, won't acknowledge her. She's calling to him. You get the impression that it's her husband. Won't turn around. You watch as he approaches this brazier, puts his bare hand into the fire. You can watch as the hairs immediately evaporate off the arm. You can hear the flesh and fat sizzle as he grabs one of the ember logs and just throws it onto the roof of the beriddled tent. He reaches in again, grabbing a second one, and just starts smacking it into the wall of the structure, trying to force it to catch fire.
Instinctively, I move to tackle him to prevent him from causing any further harm.
That seems good. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, I guess it's athletics. You have to make an athletics check. Not an
Okay.
attack.
Jesus, my rolls are so low today.
You go to tackle him low, thinking if you can get his legs up from underneath him, you can probably topple him over. But it is unsuccessful. You plow into him, and he doesn't even move. You can smell his burned hand is quite awful. It's now, black and charred, almost looking necrotic already. And he just looks down at you, chin dropping to his chest. His eyes are milky white and completely lifeless. There's sort of black, like the veins in his neck and shoulders are clearly visible, and they're black instead of blue.
Do I recognize what's happening to him?
You can attempt to make a wisdom check, and you're proficient with alchemist tools, correct?
Yes.
Then make that wisdom check with advantage. That's actually a really good roll. You've worked with a number of toxins and poisons. This man is spore infested. There's a branch of myconid spores called Deathwalkers, and you suspect that or something very similar to that has infested this man, which can cause people to react violently, mindlessly. They don't sense pain or fear, and they just tend to go on destructive rampages. There is a known antidote, but you can't concoct one just now with what's in your bag.
Okay. With this knowledge, with my last bit of action, call out, "Fire! Help!" And then somebody restrain him.
As that happens, you guys watch as in several other areas, other similarly milky-eyed people begin trying to disrupt the fair by setting it on fire or by attacking people.
They're infected.
Kel, you're the next person to react to calls of fire, help, and people screaming. One man to the east of your position is just with a wood carving axe cutting down fairgoers. There's another man just south of the archery field who's setting one of the buildings on fire. And at the Toll the Bell stage, there's a man who's lighting it ablaze while also choking the life out of the guy who ran the event.
I'm gonna handle that one, I guess. I cast Sleep.
Targeting the guy at the Toll the Bell?
Yeah.
Let me see what hit dice thinks. 1 second. I don't remember what happens if it's less than their hit points.
Wait, do I get? Oh, I think nothing happens. Wait, if it's less than their hit points, I think nothing happens.
You reach out with an outstretched hand, muttering a few words of arcane power, and a wave of almost enchanted magic washes over him. To onlookers, it looks like a coruscating wave of opalescence sort of wraps around his head and washes down his body. but as it splashes and ends, it has taken no effect on him whatsoever. He still continues to choke the life out of the man running Toll the Bell as fire spreads to the building next to him.
Well, that's not good.
Kig.
The man would fall unconscious or fall asleep though.
Oh, that's fair. Yes, the man being choked to death is now also asleep.
At least he will die not knowing he's being choked.
Kig.
So we already apprehended basically the two guys in front of us in the main center or the square, I guess. Food district, I call it. So what's left? Those two guys by the other food place, and yeah, I guess.
Yeah, there's a guy south of the archery course here. There's one at the entrance where you guys came in. There's one right here in front of Reed that he tried to tackle, and there's one at the Toll the Bell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little confused, I guess. Kig's just a little confused. He's not really understanding the situation well. He doesn't know what's going on. Normally, he wouldn't really do anything, but since everyone is kind of scattering around and, it's like a big deal. It's not just like something's happening and it's going to be taken care of lightly. He decides to intervene and, I guess just, he's so far away from the other two, and then I guess I'm just going to start moving towards one near the kissing booth. How far can I move? Is this considered combat, or can I just like go bolt down there?
Let's consider it combat, but don't forget you can use your action to move, and as a rogue you can also cunning action, so you can move up to 90 feet a turn, or 60 feet and still have an action.
Yeah, and then I also have like second story work stuff, so I could like move based on my dexterity, and climbing doesn't require any extra action or extra movement. I mean, yeah, I'll just try to get to the one that's closest. Like I guess I can't see it. I could see the fire overhead, and I try to move. How far is that? How do I do that arrow again? Sorry.
The ruler on the upper left-hand corner toolkit. It looks like a circle with a ruler coming at it, like the 2 o'clock position. Yeah.
Gotcha. I can move how far? 30. Okay, so I'll dash over towards this guy, and then also use my full movement. How far would that take me exactly?
Dashing plus move is 60.
Cool, so I guess I go near this bystander just to make sure they're safe or something.
That's fair. Alright, Jezza, you're the next person to react to the chaos. You watch as new friend Reed Greenbottle tries to tackle a weird, almost zombified, and you're starting to get that vibe from the people. It's all too hauntingly familiar to the events of 15 years ago with the War of the Necromancer. Some people are already screaming, "Zombies!" You don't think it's that, but all the same, there are people being hurt. Do you run? Do you aid?
Okay, so I grab books. I grab Alexis's cloak, or like grab them by the cloth of the shoulder. I look at them and go, "Do we run?" Like, question mark, like, kind of like, this isn't my fight. I'm very scared. I am small gobbo.
I mean, normally we run.
Normally we run, but I feel like if we were to run, everyone would kind of, I kind of look around at everyone else around me, like Kel and the Bard, and I go, "Run? Run?" Like, asking a question. I get the feeling that no one is particularly keen for me to run away in this situation. So I am going to...
The Bard drops his lute and draws a short bow from his pack and just responds, "If you must."
I sigh and says, "No, I mustn't." So, dropping my backpack to the ground and readying my quarterstaff, I'm gonna move to the guy at the hammer, the bell activity. So, I had to drag my piece. And while he's still choking that guy, I'm going to strike him in the back with my quarterstaff +1 two-handed. So just roll attack and damage at the same time, you said, or?
I think that's fine. I will give you advantage on this attack roll, though, because as you approach him, he doesn't even acknowledge your presence.
Okay, so do I just click on the weapon to hit, or is that just damage? I can't recall.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Click in my weapons or attacks and spellcasting. If I click the weapon, that's the attack roll, or is that the damage roll?
That's the attack roll, and then if you click the name of the attack in chat log, it'll roll damage for it.
Right. Okay. I'm going to say that one of those hits.
Yeah, we'll say the 27 hits.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a low roll.
You crack him squarely over the back of the head. You had like a moment of reservation, like, I might accidentally kill him. Maybe I shouldn't have struck this hard. You hear the skull crack, and you can watch his scalp shift, but he doesn't release the person, and you can watch his veins grow even darker and black as his grip tightens. You've done damage, but he doesn't seem to care.
Okay, I'm gonna do Flurry of Blows for my bonus action then, which is 2 unarmed attacks real quick. This will be like kind of 2 kicks to try and follow up on that.
Okay.
And then...
Both are successful, 12 additional points of damage. Not entirely satisfied with the result of just the dual overhead stick strike that broke his brain. You follow up with a kidney punch and your downwards axe kick him on the shoulder, trying to just lay him out flat. All of these strikes should, completely disable a normal person. They're having very little effect. You can hear bones break. You visibly watch bruises form and blood start to exit. But the milky white eyes, he just looks, almost dead. A kind of living death seems to have taken him. Alexis.
Stuff's on fire still, right?
Jezza charge past you and just plow into this person who's trying to choke one of the festival owners. Unleashing the full fury of her might, but he still stands.
Stuff is still on fire, right?
It is, yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna move over here, and I'm gonna let Jezza do her work, and I'm gonna cast my cantrip Ray of Frost on the fire to try to put it out.
Sure. Roll damage for me.
Sure. I should have had that up. My bad.
I feel like broadside of the barn's pretty easy. Yeah, you snuff out that flame that was growing to engulf the building behind Jezza. If she were a human-sized person, your beam would have narrowly missed her, but thankfully it missed by several feet. Do you want to take any other actions, Alexis?
I don't think I really have one. No.
Okay. Leo, you react next. You're just coming out of the tavern hall where people are drunk and puking all over themselves, and the world has changed a lot in the last 2 minutes since you started drinking. The fairgrounds are on fire. There are people running and screaming bloody murder. There's a couple of dead bodies in the street, and you can look as some recently made acquaintances are just brawling openly in the streets here. There are calls for the town guard, but it's chaos. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna hop out of the tavern and see just, like everything that's going on, and my expression is gonna change from very like jolly, like happy expression, just like a serious, almost like angry expression, and I'm gonna rage, and then I'm gonna move over here and attack this.
Okay.
Rage gives me advantage, correct?
It not in and of itself. There's a feature called Reckless Attack that'll let you do that.
Okay.
But it's not specifically tied to rage.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna move over here, and then I'm going to attack this guy with my manbill. and just try to like take his head off, basically.
Did you say with your anvil?
My manvil.
I have more questions.
It's an axe. It's also an anvil called the manvil.
That was the default name everyone decided on in the session 0. So it is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
And then how do I roll damage again?
You just click on the word manvil in chat.
Okay.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. You barrel into him. Is that with your rage bonus? So
it is not.
I got you. You plow into him, sort of golf swinging, dragging the manvil across the ground, kicking up some dirt and debris as you upward swing. You catch him in the jaw and bring his whole body up off the platform, freeing his grasp from the man he was choking out. As his form flails in the air and goes backwards, the hands of this man hit the bell, tinging the Toll the Bell game one more time. As the milky white creature picks itself off the ground, you can hear it trying to stand, and you watch its knee dislocate and break where Jezza had snapped it before. But it just locks back into place, which should be extraordinarily painful. He doesn't even grimace, and now his eyes are set on you.
All right.
Petrichor? You see some chaos, you hear the bell toll, you hear some cheers, some fears. What do you want to do?
So how far can I move?
You can move 30 feet with your movement action, and you can also use the dash as your action instead of making an attack to move another 30. So you can move up to 6 squares and still take your action, or you can move up to 12 squares and just be done.
Okay, so I'll move over here. Notice Dax fumbling when he tried to tackle, so I'm going to assist him.
Okay.
I guess I have to be near him, right, to do a melee attack?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yeah, as long as you're in any of the 8 adjacent squares to that target, you can make a melee attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna try attacking. Is he facing me or which way is?
He would have turned around to face Reed, so like kind of ish. You're looking at his front, but he's probably looking at Reed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit him with my quarterstaff.
Ooh.
That, unfortunately, is a miss. It's a critical miss. We didn't actually talk about fumbles. I'm sorry, I didn't come prepared for that. Note for next session. You miss wildly. It's all you can do to not accidentally plow into Reed with your quarterstaff. You rein it in for a moment and realize that, like, despite your age, despite your poise, you just let adrenaline get the better of you. It's been a while since that's happened. Yeah, so there's a 2 points of order. We did not basics, and I don't have anything prepared for today. I apologize. I will have something for us next session to vote on yay or nay. I have a question from Dax, but it might be applicable to anybody. In 5th edition, the way I like to run the option of doing non-lethal damage is basically, I don't want to change the attack roll at all, nor the damage. It's just basically a conscious choice on the part of the player to say that I will only wound but not kill my opponent. If you just tell me that, then you'll basically stop short of actually murdering them. Or we can narrate it that you're like turning to hit them with the flat of the blade or the handle of the axe, or you're punching or kicking instead. There is the option. It used to be called subdual damage. It's now just called non-lethal damage. If you don't want to kill someone, that's entirely possible. You just basically have to let me know that's what your intention is. After Petrichor swings with his quarterstaff and misses, baseball style, these odd people, these transformed citizens of Swinford, take their actions. He turns to Reed and makes a great axe attack against him.
Oof.
And I think a 21 hits. 5 points of slashing damage as the great axe carves into your shoulder. You thankfully were nimble enough to start to make the dodge, but the blade of the axe was just broader than you thought, and it cuts into you deep. The guy that's staring down Leo charges. Did you do reckless or not?
I actually don't know if I have that or do I?
You do, but I don't think you've used it.
All
I
right,
think
then
you
I'll
get
just
it at level 2.
I'll just assume I didn't.
Damn, I think an 18 still hits you for 8 points of
does.
slashing damage as he cuts at you. You tried to put up the manville to parry, but it's so awkward and heavy that it was more designed as an offensive and less so a defensive weapon, and you just can't get it up to parry in time. Don't forget you're taking half damage because you're enraged, so that's only 4.
Okay.
And then you guys can hear distant screams as the two guys at the south and east sides of the fair just continue to wreak havoc. Zaz, your meditative session ends abruptly as the soft, dull sounds that had sort of lulled you into this deep state are suddenly sharp and keen as you can smell burning flesh, which is not an unfamiliar smell to you. And you can hear the screams of people in panic and in misery. And you look down from the elevated hill and you can see several plumes of dark black smoke filling the fairgrounds. And you can watch some people you know engaged in combat.
Great. Well, how's this for a wonderful image? While they're all fighting, Zaz is going to be running down the hill with one really big book under one arm and a shield in the other. He's going to have to remember to pick up all of his implements later. And I'm going to at least try and get to the area in a timely manner.
Okay. Yeah, moving full out, I think next turn you'll be within range. The hill is, well, yeah, we'll say one full round of running, and then you'll have to use your movement next turn. Actually, yeah, let's. If anybody can hold it, let's get through this combat, and then we'll just take a 5 for everybody. I understand if you can't.
Can I at least? I'm gonna fail, but it'll be funny either way. Can I at least attempt acrobatics to not have to spend my movement to get to the fight next turn?
Yes.
Look, man, I got a +0. There's no way this works, but it'll be hilarious. Oh, hey!
Shit!
Hell yeah!
You run down. You're carrying so many things. You trip, and you know it's not going to end well. Nothing ever does for you. But you just kind of tuck into this roll, and with your tail over your shoulder, you actually make kind of a makeshift wheel. You've got your hand on your book. You're not sure about the other possessions, but your shield and book in tow. You've made literally a koboldian wheel, and you just start rolling down the hill. You've never done this before, but it seems to be working, so we're going to go with it.
Great.
Reed, it's your turn.
So I was sorry to do this mid-combat. I was looking at my unarmed strike, and it looks like when you added Radiant symbol, it changed my unarmed strike to Radiant as well. I don't know if that was intentional or previously there. I'm not entirely sure how that
I
works.
think as a Sun Soul, your unarmed attacks might do Radiant damage.
Okay, then
Don't know
that's
for sure, but
fine. I was just okay. Never mind. Ignored. I am in. Since I'm in melee, I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with my sickle, and go for that.
that's it.
And oh yeah, non-lethal is what I'm going for.
Okay. You slash at his arms, trying to get him to drop the axe, figuring if you can make him any less lethal, that's probably a good thing. You cut deeply into his right wrist, almost to the bone, but he again is just not seemingly dissuaded at all by this attack.
And then I'm going to spend a key point to use my flurry of blows to do 2 unarmed.
Okay. Both hits. Consistent.
Okay, So the fifth one, the second one didn't load right away, so I clicked it again, so that 5 wasn't supposed to be there.
I figured. You follow the sickle strike up with an elbow to his jaw and then a kick in his solar plexus, trying to either knock him over or at the very least sort of knock the wind out of him. Nothing. It's like he's a heavy punching bag. All of your attacks are effective. They're just the way you've trained them. But damn.
Okay. Before
Sure.
I stop, I just quickly say to Petrichor, we can subdue them. Don't kill them.
Kel, you react next. The chaos before you is real. Fires everywhere, combat, people screaming.
I yell to Leo, "You good?" Okay. Is the fire here? About how big is the fire right now?
It's growing to encompass most of the entrance and left half of the beriddled building.
So it's
You
bigger
don't
than
know
a
whether or
small
not-
campfire.
Yes, much larger than.
Ooh. I am going to see if I can put out some of the fire by casting Frostbite.
Okay. Go ahead and just roll damage for me.
1d6.
That's a pretty good roll for Frostbite. Kel reaches out, and some of you, maybe Reed and Petrichor, watch in an amazement as this ghostly spectral hand begins to form over the building, and it just kind of swats at the fire, freezing sections of the structure that it touches. But once the hand fully passes through, it dissipates in a burst of snowflakes, and the fire has been completely put out.
As a bonus action, I'd like to reach into my gray bag of tricks and pull out a fuzzy object.
Okay.
And that would be a giant badger.
Badger.
I approve.
Kablamo. There's your giant badger.
Am I allowed? Oh.
Excellent.
I don't know if I can let you control it or not.
I think you should be able to assign it to me. If not, 10-foot burrow. Since Leo said he's good, I'm going to tell the giant badger to help with the other one over here. And I guess multi-attack?
Where do you want it to go? I'm sorry, I had my character sheet open. I can't give it to you. I don't.
The same one we're attacking.
The same one Petrichor and Dax's character are attacking. Are you... I guess you'll have to roll for me?
Yeah. It's very strange at the moment. I don't really understand what's happening with its character sheet, but it's telling me it has volley, which I have to assume is not true.
That's not true.
Nice.
That is a strong badger.
The bite misses, but the claws rend him from the waist down for 7 points of slashing damage.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
That's an angry fucking badger. All right, Kig.
Sweet. I'm gonna use my my bonus action to dash over behind him with my boots of Elven. I shouldn't make any noise. Would that allow me to do anything like advantage on my attack or anything?
Who do you want to move towards? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm gonna dash. Use my bonus action and dash behind this guy right here. Yep.
Sure.
And
yes and no. So because he's completely entranced in the idea of setting this fire, and you can make stealth as a bonus action, you would have advantage on the attack roll. But because you are in direct sunlight, your sunlight sensitivity gives you disadvantage, so you'll just be making a normal roll.
Okay. Direct sunlight. So that helps, but my feet doesn't help because it's only for dim light. Okay. All right. So then I'm just gonna do a regular sword attack onto him. Full lethal.
Nice.
I'm definitely going to try and kill him.
Are you not in the shadow of the building?
It basically, if he's in daylight, he's at disadvantage.
Got it.
Yeah, and I would also
Not
say the
quite
flames.
Stoker vampire laws, but
The flames probably casting quite a bit of light too. Okay, so just the short sword.
that misses, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
you were waiting for that perfect opportunity, and it never came. And then too late, you decided, I guess I just stick him. And yeah, he just sort of stumbled backwards, giving you the elbow right in your jaw. He wasn't even trying to hit you; he was just turning around. In a comedy of errors, you sort of topple backwards, and there's this looming guy who still doesn't even seem to be acknowledging you.
Perfect. I'm good with that.
Jezza, you just watched Leo throttle this guy thoroughly, knocking him clear of the festival carny, and laid this guy out on his ass. He stood back up and is marched back into the fray. What do you want to do?
I'm kind of like amazed. Like I kind of look at the Leo and go, "He's not dead."
Hit him harder.
You have fun, and I start leaving. I start getting away from him.
Okay.
Does that would that provoke an opportunity attack, or
It will, yeah, unless you want to use your action to withdraw. You can take the dodge action, which means, but that is your action for the turn. No attack, but
what? Define disengage for me here, real quick.
I misspoke. The ability is called dodge. Anybody can take it. It just means you use your action to move without provoking attacks of opportunity. I don't remember when Monk gets it, but you get a disengage style feat where you can spend a key point to take the dodge as a bonus action.
Yeah, I have that, but I also have disengage. I'm a goblin, so I have you can take disengage or hide as a bonus action on each of your turns.
Nice. Yep.
So I don't know what disengage is. Just allow me to move.
Disengage is moving away without provoking an attack opportunity.
Okay, then I will use nimble escape to basically just run my ass away from said almost dead man who should be dead, and I don't take that concept very well. I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna run past books. I'm gonna go, they don't die, and I'm just gonna keep running. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. Yep. And
Where do you think you're going?
And I just keep running. As I keep going, I just say again, they don't die.
All right, Alexis. After watching your friend run past, they don't die! They don't die! Running away after delivering what should have been, honestly, a lethal series of attacks against that person, what do you want to do?
Follow them, because they don't die. Running here, and then realizing there's one right there, and being like, maybe I'll help here. And, going to cast, that.
Like, Badger's got this.
At, that.
Unfortunately, the 8 misses. You create a prismatic ball of pure arcane energy, compressing it down into a small moat, and as you project it, it just kind of fizzles out and dissipates.
What would it have been?
There's some smoke and tear in your eyes from some of the... Aw, why look at what could have been? I forget, is it a reflex that I have to... Is it a reflex spell, or is it just an attack roll? It's an attack roll.
It's just an attack roll, yeah.
Damn. Sorry, bud.
Sorry.
Alright, Leo. Jezza left, I guess, trusting in your impressive barbarian prowess to finish this guy off. And for no other reason.
As she leaves, I'm gonna be like, "Alright, lass, get out of here!" And I'm gonna, I guess, reckless. What's it called again? Reckless
Reckless
attack. Yeah.
So you'll just make your attack with advantage, but all attacks made against you also have advantage.
Okay. Gonna try and swing the manville right on top of the dead man's head.
Uh, 13 hits. He's looking really worse for wear. He's having a hard time standing after that blow. It's like the mind is willing, but the flesh is weak kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's having a hard time just physically composing himself enough to stand, but whatever is pushing him forward continues to do so. Are you happy staying there?
Yeah.
All right, Petrichor, you're up.
Okay, so I would like to possibly blind our enemy by using Produce Flame, but kind of aimed towards his face.
I feel like you're going to be very cruel for a druid. Let me pull it up real quick.
Oh, I just click it, right?
If you want to link it, the spell stuff, that's fine.
Oh, okay. I guess I have to use it first, and then I can use it as an attack.
Yeah, so if you want to attack him with it, make your ranged spell attack.
How do I do that? Just click the number?
There should be an attack mechanic from the spell. If not, between this session and next, I can show you how to make an attack. Do you have any other spells that have an attack? Because it'll be the same roll. We can just cheat and use that spell attack.
I can use Infestation.
So if you go back to your character sheet, I see that you're in spells, but if you look at core, under the attacks, just below your hit points, there's a column.
Produce Flame, I see.
Produce Flame is there as an attack, yeah.
No, it still did
Womp womp. Yep, so you roll a 9. Unfortunately, that doesn't hit him. You produce flame just shy of him. Maybe he's got a supernatural fear of it after burning his arm, and manages to sidestep the production of your flame. It appears and materializes. It would have engulfed most of the upper portion of his body, but he's just not there when it happens. In response to you trying to set him on fire, he turns at you with his giant great axe and misses, because that's fun. He swings wide. You're able to duck and completely dodge the axe attack. He makes a similar attack against Leo. I get to make him with advantage, I suppose. Good thing. 5 points of slashing damage. You make that 2.
Okay.
Zaz, you're stumbling in from the north. You'll appear at the top of the map where you are now, and you've got 2 squares of movement plus your action this turn.
Okay, so very quick synopsis. It doesn't look like there's any fires left.
There are 2.
But there's still...
Or 1. There's 1.
Oh.
Here by where Kig is.
Holy crap, there's way more of this map.
Yeah. I had to zoom out. It's pretty big.
It's a big map.
Okay. Perfect. Well, after just a second, almost comically shake his head to get his senses back in order, Zaz sees there's stuff going on, but more importantly, there's a fire. And he knows what to do about fires. So he's going to dash as close as he can to that fire and squeak out a quick prayer to Talos to drown out the fury around him, and is going to cast Create Water, which I think I have here. It's not an attack of any kind,
Right.
which is sad, but do this?
You can link it if you want. You, clutching your holy symbol close to your chest in your clawed hand, you whisper your prayer to Talos, and maybe it's because of the proximity to the raging storm off sea, or maybe it's because of the deep connection you just felt to him, a small micro storm cloud appears about 15 feet above the building. You can watch it churn as it forms, first light gray, then dark gray. 2 little bolts of lightning no more than a foot long arc out of it, and then just a torrential downpour of rain, not but 6 feet in diameter, begin washing down over the flame until the flame is extinguished, and the cloud just kind of poofs out as though it were never there.
Whew. Okay. Everything else is fine.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
Well, at least I don't have to be a firefighter anymore.
Reed.
I call out what I typed a little bit earlier. Whoever produced this badge or employee, don't kill them. They're infected. They can be cured. And then I once again attack with my sickle, attempting to do non-lethal damage. Oof.
Yeah, sickle being a curved edge weapon, it's hard not to like cut him lethally. You find yourself having to pull your punches, and as a result of that, you just didn't do any damage this turn.
And then I spend my key points once more to do my unarmed strikes.
Flurry. Perfect. Both of those are hits. You render him unconscious. You punch him in the head a few times after slicing at his midsection with the sickle, and the second blow catches him in the jaw. His head spins, and he just collapses backwards in the dirt against the house that was burning. You step over him, and his eyes are no longer milky white.
And then I look around to see what's happening. And can I see from that vantage point what's over here?
Yeah, probably so. You can see Kig engaged with another bizarre rage monster.
All right, and then I'll move myself a little bit closer, and that'll be my turn. I said, "Leave him be," as I move away. I'm assuming that's an okay distance.
That's a good bet. Yeah. All right. The combat is taking far longer than I anticipated, because I cannot accurately gauge 8 players apparently. If anybody needs to go, let's just take our 5 real quick now, since we've already lost 1, and before we have to lose more. That seems reasonable. Back in 5, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Quite reasonable.
time.
But that means I'm gonna get a holiday pay on Monday, because Labor Day's Monday, right?
Like,
Yeah,
no.
so I'm gonna get holiday pay on Monday. I'm not gonna have it
Nice.
off, obviously, but with the government, that means we get double pay.
Which government?
The U.S. government?
The Mexican government.
I thought I checked.
I'm envious. My holiday pays time and a half.
Same.
That's bullcrap.
Although we do have that tax holiday starting with this next paycheck, which I'm opting out of.
Lav, what airport do you work at again?
Dallas Fort Worth, the busiest one in
Dallas.
the world right now.
Like, I have half a mind just to fly through there. Just
Huh. I mean, you can. I mean, it's cheap enough, I guess.
I mean, I think last time I flew to LA, I had a layover in Dallas. It was either Dallas or Houston. I don't
If
remember.
you fly American, you're probably either going to have a layover in Chicago or DFW.
It was Delta. I think I flew.
Oh, that's interesting that you would have a layover there, but they do have a small spoke there.
It was either Houston or Dallas. I don't really remember which one it was.
All right. Who's ready to D&D?
I am ready.
I never left. I didn't hear your go on break, and so they informed me, and I was like, oh.
So
I'm
you
gonna-
failed the listening test.
Well, I've
Ooh,
been listening for
got him.
most of it, but I'm also a part of like a glamour contest in 14 at the same time, so I'm just trying to keep two things.
Are
at
you
once.
telling me you're playing two games at once?
Oh my god.
What? No, I'm actually
not-
actively not playing 14. I'm just standing here dancing in a summer outfit.
All right. We left
Guys,
off.
I'm-
It's Kel's turn.
I'm just gonna switch over to my PC real quick. I've been on my AirPods this whole time. 1 second.
Okay.
The one.
In the meantime, I sent you a message in Discord. We don't have to discuss it now, but later works if that's okay.
Yeah. Let me get a chance to read it one more time when I'm not focused on the game, and
Of course.
it seems reasonable. Kel, what did you want to do?
Can I? Is it an action to tell my familiar to run off and scout the rest of the town? Since
think
I
that's a
probably
bonus.
don't know. Is it a bonus action?
I think so. Yeah.
Ooh. I'll hold off on that one for now. Since the one near the badger has already been subdued for now, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll use my bonus action to have the badger follow the Dax's character and help.
Read green bottle.
Yeah, read green
Who
bottle.
is trimming their nails?
Sorry, that was the plastic. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I heard that too.
I didn't realize it was going through the mic. I apologize.
You're good.
It's a lot less gross if it's not toenails.
Can my spells do non-lethal damage? That seems weird.
It does seem weird. In my previous games, I have house ruled it like as acceptable, just because otherwise I think it disproportionately inconveniences casters. It's hard to say how Fireball does non-lethal damage, but if we can find a way to sell it, I'm happy to do that. But if we'd rather play it, viscerally real, then obviously, yeah.
Well, since I believe it's on theme, I cast Toll the Dead on the guy near the Ring the Bell.
Nice. Now I too have rung the bell. I don't remember what save I have to make.
Let me double check. I just had
I want
it
to
up.
say it was wisdom.
It is wisdom.
It's a soft stat, yeah.
Oh, wow.
No bonus.
Jeez.
Yikes.
No
Yikes.
damage, right? Not even half damage.
Yeah, it's just no damage.
Damn it. Do you want to move, Kel?
Yes. Since Leo seems to have this in hand, I will move to follow, since there seems to be other commotion going on elsewhere. Over to there.
Kig, as you get ready to strike this guy again, he turns to face you for the first time, suddenly noticing you. Eyes almost like alabaster white. There's just, you can't even see through them anymore where it was cloudy before. Purely white. He opens his mouth, and as he begins to speak, you hear this being echoed. All of the people afflicted by these spores speak together out loud with a single voice. Even the unconscious one laying on the ground before Petrichor, his eyes flash open, plain white, and his mouth speaks, echoing the same thing that's being spoke throughout the fairgrounds. This affront will stand no longer. You are but flies feeding upon filth, unaware of the greater animal that lies before you. No longer will this be a feeding trough for swine. I have come to restore its ancestral power. And with that, all of the eyes flash back to normal and the humans collapse. Every one of these guys goes full unconscious catatonia. And in the courtyard, kind of where all you guys are standing, a mass of grub, rotworm, beetle, fly begins to just swarm together. It's obnoxious. You guys are batting them away off of your face and clothes. They begin to just swirl together in one place until they form an almost humanoid shape. And as they disperse, a hooded figure remains.
Can't hear that, right?
I'm sorry?
You can't hear that, right?
I can hear everything.
Okay. Not good.
Kig, it's your turn.
Okay, so this guy in front of me is dead, or not dead, but unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've wasted my time.
Feel like you have also.
Okay,
sorry.
so it's okay. I'm just gonna take my whole turn for movement just to get over to this guy. I'm gonna
can-
dash.
I'll let you do it with a move and a dash. You'll still have your action left.
Okay. I mean, there's not. Do I have a ranged weapon? Sorry, I should know that.
Any weapon is a ranged weapon.
Yeah, I do.
I agree.
All right. So, I'm just.
Or your wooden sword.
Yeah, I tossed that
that
away. Yeah, I
Oh
chucked-
man, it was already a ranged weapon.
Should have kept it.
I'll say on the building, maybe, since I have a. Sorry, I cannot remember the names of these things. Second story work. Okay.
Mhm.
Then I'll just try and shoot him with my short bow for my action.
Okay. You are going to have to make that shot at disadvantage, unfortunately, because
Because of
you're.
the sunlight.
Yep.
So
And go ahead.
I wanted to ask, how do you what's your position? Like, I have multiple things that give me disadvantage and, I guess now disadvantage with the sunlight.
So the saving grace for you as a kobold is that in most cases, you'll be able to counteract the sunlight by using pack tactics. In this game, there's not iterative examples of advantage and disadvantage. If you have disadvantage and advantage, they cancel out. It doesn't matter how many times you have disadvantage or advantage, just one of each normal roll. So in open daylight, as long as you've got one other person in melee combat with you against a target, you're rolling normally. But in this instance, when you're engaging someone at range by themselves in open daylight, you're just unfortunately at disadvantage.
Yeah, I get it. That sounds good. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure of that, so I didn't.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, there are lots of ways to cheat it a little.
Ignore that roll I just did, and here's a terrible.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the short bow shot misses. He has this sort of long, gnarled wooden staff that he's carrying with him, and as you shoot from the rooftop, he interposes it between you and him, and the arrow lodges right in one of these gnarled lumps of his staff. Jezza, you're nearby as this hooded figure emerges in the town square, seemingly composed of swarms of insects. As they disperse, his form seems corporeal and normal, but you do watch as, like, he's still kind of covered in bugs. Maggots, flies, grub worms still just coil around his form. What do you want to do?
I'm terrified. I want to keep running away, but at this point I don't know where to go. But I look at everyone and I see that everyone's kind of converging on this guy, or I see the crossbow shot. And... Short bow. Thank you. Sorry. And I figured, what the hell? So as I'm running, I pass Alexis and I said, "Don't let me die!" And I come over here.
What do you want me to do for it?
And I
don't let him die.
I take a swing at him with quarterstaff.
Nice.
That's a hit. Gee, many crystals, look at that damage. Ooh. He excuse me, tries to put his staff in line to block again, fairly confident that someone smaller than he is isn't going to generate enough force. You knock the staff into his body so hard you watch his wrist sort of bend back on itself. He winces in pain, and the blow carries through into his rib section. He's partially doubled over for a minute. Through his hood, you can see crooked, broken teeth and eyes that glow with an almost supernatural green energy.
Upon seeing that, I'm going to use Step of the Wind for a bonus action, using one of my 3 remaining key points. Jezza screams, because she is a city goblin and she don't do eldritch shit, and using disengage, I'm going to take my bonus action to run past him and hide under this table.
Nice.
Well done.
Very good. Alexis, you watch as Jezza barrels into this person, knocks him hard in the gut, doubles over. His head cocks slightly. You don't quite see what she sees, but something has startled her and she just booked.
Obviously spooked, because my best friend is spooked. I'm gonna go behind this table, and then I'm gonna cast Ice Knife. Fuck.
You fling an ice knife at him, and he puts his hand up and just sort of flings it away. It dashes off of his hand harmlessly and lands just in one of the eaves right next to Kig, almost hitting him.
No, hit or miss, the shard explodes. Then the target and each creature within 5 feet must succeed in a dexterity saving throw.
I will do that.
So is it landing next to Kig?
No, well, I was just trying to flavorfully narrate a miss.
Okay.
But my dexterity save is a 17.
Is it really?
Half of 9 and 9.
Jesus Christ.
4 and 4.
Alright.
Hold on, my roommate is playing League. Let me close my door.
He tries to flick the knife aside, expecting it to work like a conventional projectile. Obviously sees it coming a ways off, but as he smacks it, it explodes in like glass and frozen shrapnel, almost hitting Kel, almost hitting the Bard, almost hitting Jezza, but all of them look on as this guy is now a pincushion of tiny little micro shards of ice.
I need to work on my throwing arm.
Enraged, he slams his staff hard into the ground, and thick tendrils, roots begin to wrap up around his staff and very quickly begin to cover his entire body. His form is now wrapped in this almost tree bark-like material, functioning as defunct armor. Additionally, he takes his now tree-barked, gauntleted fist pointing at you, Alexis, and he says, "Rise and feast!" And a mound of rot grubs begins to emerge from the soil beneath your feet.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
And they're gonna make an attack against you as they swarm. And they miss, I think.
Yes,
You're very nimble and very not fond of being bit by a swarm of insects. You dodge around and on top of the table to avoid it. Leo, you're up. The guy that you're with is lifeless and unconscious, but you see a swarm of insects trying to attack the slender, olive-skinned elf that you've been dealing with before, and there's this weird new hooded figure that seems to be causing a commotion at the center.
Is it possible to sprint towards the figure?
Yes. So you can move 30 as your move, and then you can use your action to move another 30, so you can be in melee with him, but you won't have an action.
Okay, so I'll move to about here, I guess, which is within my movement, and I will throw a javelin at him.
Okay. The javelin hits. Are you meaning to be attacking recklessly?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. He just puts up his forearm, hoping that the bark shield that it creates will be enough to stop your javelin, but it is thrown with such force and such might, it pierces the bark armor and perforates his forearm, coming through nearly a full 6 inches on the side closest to his body. He marvels at it as he tries to flex his fingers and screams in pain as he tries to withdraw the javelin from his forearm.
Hell yeah.
Petrichor. Dynamic
Okay.
combat has shifted.
So-
You're up.
I can move 15 feet and still attack, right?
You can move up to 30 and still attack.
Okay, so I'm gonna move over in between where the bugs are
Mhm.
and where Big Baddie is, right here. And I think I am just in range. Yes. Oh, but I think you're also in. Shoot. I hope this doesn't backfire, but I would
Could
like to
possibly
do
go wrong.
Thunder Wave to hit things in my surrounding and push them back.
Huh.
Okay, link it for me. I can't remember if it's 10 or 15 foot.
It's
Believe
15, but it knocks back 10.
Oh, it is 15.
Shoot. Cast at level. What do I put on here? Level 1?
So level 1 is the base damage, but if you wanted to make it more potent, you could cast it at a higher spell level, so you could use your level 2 spell slot to make it do more damage.
No, I'll just do it as a 1. I don't want to hurt the surrounding. I don't want to hurt the people.
So by my calculation, it looks like both Kel and Alexis will both have to make a Constitution save against the Thunderwave, as will the bad guy and the Swarm.
Leo would too, if I have to.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't really see him there. Yeah, Leo, Alexis, Kel make Constitution saves.
Alright.
But you are definitely messing up those bugs.
Yeah. Leo, you're gonna take 8 points. Alexis, you're gonna take 8 points. Kel, you're gonna take 4 points. I'm gonna take 4 points, and the bugs are gonna take more than that.
You said 8?
Yes, 8. The force of the blast detonates with like the sound of crashing thunder. Boom! And force, just a wall of pure force, strikes the ground and forces all of you guys away. Some of you manage to duck and roll, absorbing some of the blast. Others just take it on the chin. Some are knocked back. You look, and hundreds of bugs have just been splattered in this dome-style effect, crushed in midair by the wave of force as it expands outward. The hooded figure has his hood blown back and drops to one knee. He's coughing up blood, and his staff has been shattered. Zaz, you just heard the cacophonous wave of thunder go off. You watch as enemies and allies alike were thrust backwards by it. There's like a temporary reprieve in the battle. What do you want to do?
Zaz hears that and knows something was weird about that one. He runs forward towards, at this point, not even the fight so much as the lightning or the thunder blast, but seeing this guy who is clearly unnatural, he will start not even chanting, just saying no, 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 and will cast Shatter.
Nice. On the hooded.
Oh shoot, that's not quite right.
Okay.
Sorry, still trying to figure out how all of these spells work together. Because I'm going to push my full power into this and use my Destructive Wrath to make it so that I do max damage instead of rolling damage. So, if I've read that right, and I believe I have, I'm going to pick here, the square next to the old dude, and every creature in a 10-foot radius of him, which should just be him, is going to take the max damage of this spell.
That does seem pretty good. Is that 18 damage?
It's 3d8, so 24.
24. I thought it was 6s, my bad. And what was the range? Or the area?
The radius is 10 feet from the point.
Okay. So probably just him is all. You're not getting any friendlies yet. Perfect.
And like I'm blowing up a few tables and stalls and stuff, but that's not important.
Do you want to narrate the effect of your spell?
Yeah, the best part of this spell is almost instant. The whole flavor of this spell is that I'm sounding a single thunder crack. It's not even damage, it's not lightning so much as just the thunder crack from right there. And so the sound of thunder and shattering glass erupts from that point and disorients and kind of wrecks everybody in the area.
As soon as it happened, you watch everybody in the crowd just cover their ears. Babies are screaming as their parents are trying to carry them out of the fair. You look, suddenly the hooded figure is now trying to stand up on one knee. His ears are bleeding and he looks somewhat disorientated. Reed, as the tempo of combat shifts back to you, I need you to make a perception roll.
Yes, sir. Perception. Oh, Jesus, fuck.
That's a couple of 9s tonight. I mean, it's a shame 9s aren't better. Reed, you're somewhat distracted. The battle seems to be going very poorly for this hooded interloper that sought to disrupt a fair. But for a moment, you're distracted. Your eyes keen upwards as dozens, no, now hundreds of birds in this massive flock are flying overhead. And varied species. You see gull and sparrow and crow all flying together, all flying inland. It's a bizarre sight. The churning of their wings and the caws is almost unsettling. Like there's something just primal and terrifying about it. Go ahead.
As a character, can I make an assumption? Like, from that information? Like, as I look up, I'm like, that's odd. They look like they're fleeing from something.
The hooded figure at the center of the room, coughing up blood, just looks and sees the two sections of his broken staff and sits down in the dirt and just says, "Fine, I yield." And just sits down in the ground in the middle of the fair's midway.
Would it be reasonable to make a prolonged observation of the birds and gain a better perception of it, or is that the best I'm going to do?
That's the most perceiving your character is going to do regarding the flock of birds.
Okay.
But everybody sees them. Hundreds
Right.
of birds flying.
Are we still considered to be in combat now that he's yielded?
I think we'll have it just be your turn in combat and just keep passing combat turns until no one wants to do anything combat related.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to move into sight of the commotion I'm hearing over here and take a look at this guy. Assuming he's related to the infected villagers we fought, does he, to me, look like he's related to them alchemically, poison-wise, etc.?
Make a knowledge of nature check.
That would be just nature check.
Yeah, sorry. Petrichor, you can also make one with advantage. You won't need it. Reed, you notice that he's got an herbalist's pouch at his side. Unmistakable. It's very similar to the one you use. He's obviously a master of herbs and alchemical supplies. Petrichor, you make another observation that the broken staff on the ground was lined with druidic sigils, the special language that only druids speak. And the ornamentation, you notice he's not wearing or using anything metal. You peg this guy as definitely a druid.
But he's not infected like the others were?
No, he's not infected, and there is a school of druidism that focuses specifically on controlling and manipulating fungus and spore.
Okay.
A druid of the spores?
Really?
I just shout out to him as I approach. Speak, villain. Confess. Or not confess. Speak, villain! Why the nature of this assault?
They waste what they have.
There is no waste in the distractions of fun and frivolity from time to time.
You guys, suddenly the earth beneath you begins to churn violently. The earth shakes, dropping up and down repeatedly, violently. Some of you have a hard time even maintaining your footing. And then, suddenly, it stops. There's a moment of eerie silence that takes the entire fairgrounds as people begin exchanging uncomfortable glances with each other. The spore druid in the fairground center chuckles twice and says, "Perhaps it will matter not."
Don't know what else to say. Next person. Or end, whatever.
Kel and Kig, do you guys have anything you want to do?
I'm just as confused as everyone else.
Jezza or Alexis, would you guys like to take any action?
Wait. You skipped me.
I said Kel or Kig.
I know, but you didn't let me speak.
Okay, go.
What matters not?
The events of today. Possibly the events of my entire life. He points one hand out towards the coastline.
I look out towards the coastline.
You see, even from here, a massive wall of water racing towards the Pendilorian coastline. It has to be 100 feet tall. And it's moving so fast, you can hear it now churning, loudly, groaning, roaring.
I yell duck and then try to hide somewhere.
No, the ducks flew away already. I said that.
I tell my giant badger to burrow, and then I jump in a hole.
You guys watch helplessly for. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I tell my giant badger to burrow down 10 feet, and I jump in the hole.
Okay. Jezza, Alexis, Leo, do you guys have anything you would like to do?
From where I'm under this bench, I'm assuming I heard him because goblin ears.
Proximity.
But
Yeah.
do I see this wall of water through this building?
Probably not from under the table. No.
Okay, so I see Kel just run out, and I kind of come out and I stand up and Books, what's going on?
Considering I'm on top of the table, I probably could see it, correct?
Yes.
I yell, "Wall of water!"
You're not a wizard.
Dying.
Stop dying! And then go into one of these buildings and try to hide somewhere.
Cool.
I go right back under the table.
Seems very fair.
Table.
Classic duck and cover, man. They still teach it in school.
I don't know if this is a thing in D&D, but I'm going to brace.
Okay. Zaz or Petrichor?
I would like to inspect those runes. Does it matter, like, what they say? I'd like to know what they say.
They are, they're entwining. It seems to be repeating the same phrase. It's not a literal translation, like one for one, but you believe the closest translation to common would be Keeper of the Vow.
Interesting. I would like to ask him what that means. Question him, what does Keeper of the Vow mean?
He looks at you shocked that you know that, and there's unfortunately precious little time for any more to be said as the massive wall of water slams into the coastline, but doesn't stop there. The surging roil of white water washes inland and begins to flood the festival grounds as knee-deep surges of water just wash away buildings and people alike. You're all swept up in this torrent of tidal force. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Even in my hole?
Probably especially in your hole.
Even with me being in the building?
Well,
Lord.
I think the building got picked up.
is it Pig on top of the building?
Yeah, Kig's actually the only one that went to high ground. I think Google tsunami and see how well small wooden structures do.
Well, what I meant to say was on top of the building, but I just was like, all right, whatever.
All right, gang. I didn't want to run too late. I know everybody's got early mornings, and I know that some of you are living in the future. So this is kind of the timetable I'd like to run from now on. Is I will try to get it as close to 9 as I can, as long as we can get to a reasonable stopping point. Some nights that might mean being done as early as 8:30 if we're just at a good artificial stopping point. Sometimes it might be going a few minutes late, but again, I really am trying to be sensitive that some of you are, coming up on midnight, and that's not ideal. So I thank you guys for hanging in there. Do we have any notes for me besides coming up with a critical fumbles table and reading Dax's potential magic item?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Try not to blow up the sorcerer with powerful magic again.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I need to learn how to use Produce Flame as an attack.
All right, guys.
I might have some more notes on my NPC connection, but I'll just send it to you later.
Sure. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions, always throw them in the Discord, and feel free to chat. As players in the Discord also. I can't imagine that there's anything you don't want me to see, but I guess there's always private messages for that. That's all I got, gang. I think we're looking at 2 weeks from today as the next session. So Friday the 18th, same bat time, same bat channel. If that works for you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, it works.
I think.
Yes, I told people I would be here for that, so they got
Okay.
put on hold for you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, that's way better than telling me you're playing a simultaneous video game.
Well, I wasn't playing
Who
it.
would do that?
I wasn't playing it. I just had it on, and I had to keep tabs on it to see if I won. I did not.
You know what? I think maybe I'll have to talk to your 14 raid leader and sort this out.
I had a lore question for you, and I
Sure.
was wondering if you'd be flexible with that.